to SHN Sports coverage of Jarrell Cougar football. I'm Wally Harmon here in Little River Academy, Texas, on the campus of the Academy Bumblebees in John Glover Stadium. The Cougars back in district play tonight after a week off last week on the bye week. They come in to face a Little River Academy Bumblebee team on their own home field. The Cougars come in 3-4 of the season, 0-3 in district play, looking to turn things around. They come in facing the Bumblebees, who are currently 2-6 on the season and just 1-3 in district play. Their lone win in district coming against Maynard New Tech in the fifth game of the season, where they won 57-7. So far, the Cougars on the season, they opened up the season on the loss to Whitney, 56-0. Came back in game two, beat Florence 41-14. A sizzling performance at home in the home opener for the 2019 season. Game two, they came back, or game three, went on the road. Big comeback in the second half where they beat Riesel. Game four, they came back home and put it on Rosebud Lot at homecoming, 70-0. And then district play started in game five of the season, and it's not been fun for the Cougars. So far, 0-3. The loss to Lago Vista, 56-30. Then at Troy, 49-13. And the last game played on October the 11th was a home loss to Cameron Yo, 55-0. 3A Division I District 10 standings. Troy Trojans sit up above everybody else. 7-1 on the season, 4-0 in district play, followed by Lago Vista. They're 6-2 and 3-1 in district. Cameron Yo is 6-1 and 2-1 in district. The Rockdale Tigers 6-1, 2-1 in district. So the four playoff spots pretty tight between those four teams: Troy, Lago Vista, Cameron, and Rockdale. Little River falls in number 5, 2-6 on the season, 1-3 overall in district play. The Cougars come in 3-4 on the season, 0-3 in district play. And the Maynard New Tech Titans come in 1-6 on the season and 0-3 in district play. Next week, Academy will have a bye week on November the 1st. And your Jarrell Cougars will be playing Rockdale at home in Jarrell, Texas at 7:30 p.m. Some scores around the area from last week. Lago Vista beat Maynard New Tech 70-0. Cameron Yo beat Little River Academy 50-7. And Troy beat Rockdale 62-44, which is what separated Troy and Rockdale in the standings for district play. Troy going to 4-0. Some local scores around. 6A District 25, Westlake beat Del Valley 69-31. Bowie beat Aikens 23-20. Anderson High pounced all over Austin High 70-49. And Hayes won the battle of the Hayes ISD against Lehman 62-7. 6A District 13, the Austin area Round Rock schools. McNeil beat Leander 28-3. Vista Ridge beat Cedar Ridge 49-42. Vandergrift beat Westwood 42-17. And Round Rock beat Stony Point in overtime 34-31. 5A Division II District 13. Weiss beat Cedar Creek 17-16. Brenham blanked Elgin 21-0. Glenn beat Eastview 35-28 in a good ball game there. And then Marble Falls beat Burnett 45-37. 5A Division I District 11, Georgetown had a nice game last week against Pflugerville. Got off the 0-2 snide in district. Had an awesome opportunity last week to make the play-by-play call on that one, along with Kelly Duvall and Dave England and the gentleman there at the field in Pflugerville for the Georgetown game, and stepping in for Rob Hipp. And Georgetown did not hesitate to deliver a great game as they put it away early. Cedar Park, what a battle. They beat Hutto 20-16. Last drive of the game, Cedar Park drove down. Hutto couldn't stop them. And Cedar Park got the win there to separate the top two teams in the division, the 5A Division I District 11. And then Maynard beat Conley 50-35 in a shootout. Other local scores around the area, Central Texas area, Fredericksburg beat Taylor 35-10. Lampasas beat Liberty Hill 52-10. Llano beat the Gobblers of Cuero 35-16. Giddings beat Belleville 30-16. LaGrange beat Caldwell 25-15. Bremen beat Granger 49-14. Thorndale on a tear this year beat Milano 48-16. Thrall beat Marlin 44-33. Then the private schools that I love to follow along with. Regents beat Hyde Park 41-0. Waco Vanguard beat Round Rock Christian 52-0. And a local favorite, Round Rock Concordia beat Marble Falls Faith 58-42. Some of the local scores around the area from Central Texas from last week. Tonight, Cameron is at Rockdale, so there'll be a good battle right there. That'll do some separation in the standings for 3A Division I District 10. You got Cameron Yo going in 6-1 on the season, 2-1 in district play, and Rockdale mirrored him 6-1 and 2-1 in district. They go to battle in Rockdale tonight. Jarrell's here at Little River Academy, home of the Bumblebees. And Troy will go and take their unbeaten district record to Maynard New Tech. Lago Vista enjoying the warmth of home tonight on their bye week. And what a timely bye week that is. So as the Cougars get warmed up, ready to take the sideline. We've got about 6 minutes to kick off here. The crowd bundled up, tons of blankets and masks and earmuffs and gloves, and even the referees bundled up down on the field. The coaches bundling up in the jackets and warm-ups. The wind blowing fairly heavily across the way, looking at the home stands. The big A flag, green and yellow, blowing quite hard across the way. The Cougars face a couple of some talent here. It's like a kind of a different type of offense here for the Bumblebees. They do run and they do pass. They come into the ball game. Their top rusher is their quarterback. Number 5, Jerry Cephas. He's run the ball 51 times for 445 yards this year, 8.73 yards per carry, and 7 touchdowns. The next guy in line as the second leading rusher will be number 2, Darian Franklin. He's got 34 rushes for 250 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he averages 7.35 yards per carry. The top passer, of course, Jerry Cephas, the quarterback. He's thrown the ball 119 times, 74 completions, thrown for 1,054 yards, 11 touchdowns, but 5 interceptions, and the long of 58 yards. You look at that in comparison to the Cougar quarterback, Heron Rodriguez. He's thrown the ball just 59 times for 629 yards. And I didn't update that. I'll have to look back at the stats there. I missed that last game. Heron Rodriguez is going to have a little bit better numbers there. Let's go in here and look at the stats report. I apologize. I missed something, and that was it. In the passing game, here it is. Heron Rodriguez, 55 for 103 for 854 yards. He's passing at a completion rate of 53%. 94 yards, the long one to Crathers back in the game against Rosebud Lott. He's got 5 interceptions and 9 touchdowns. And so he's thrown the ball 103 times compared to Cephas, who's thrown the ball 119. The funny thing is, if you look down the stats for the district, you've got 3 of the top 10 passers by stats play for Academy. Colin Mratz, he has thrown the ball 54 times for 433 yards and 4 touchdowns. And then Ryan White, the senior, has thrown the ball 59 times. And 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 3 for Mratz as well. And so a lot of passing here in the game. If you look at it, 119 passes attempted by Cephas, 54 by Mratz, and 59 by White. So well over 100 there, 113 and 119. So 232 pass attempts for the Academy Bumblebees. So they like to move the ball around. In the rushing game, Cephas sits up about number 10 in the district in rushing. 51 carries for 445 yards. And then you have Darian Franklin and Trenton Flanagan. He's got 215 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. And so they spread the ball out quite a bit. You got 3 runners in the top 15 for Academy, and then you got 3 quarterbacks in the top 10. So a lot of passing, a lot of different looks that you'll see from the Bumblebees tonight as they play and pass the ball around. The captains meet at the middle of the field for your Cougars. Thomas Clausen, Jasper Compton, Anthony Gaddison, and Jake Copeland, the captains. The coin toss in the air. Jarrell's won the toss. They're going to defer to the second half. Academy will then take the ball. So we'll see what the Cougars do. So real quick, before we get things going, we're going to take a quick break and get a little love, give a little love to our sponsors. Academy is going to field the ball. They're going to receive here to open up. And so they're going to start against the wind in the first quarter. So the defense is going to come out for the Cougars and be challenged early. Try to make a stop. You got the wind with you the first quarter. Get the ball and make something happen is going to be the picture here that the Cougars try to set early on in the ball game against the Bumblebees. So we'll take a quick time out here on SHN Sports and be back after a little love for our sponsors with the kickoff of tonight's game. Jarrell Cougar Football brought to you in part by Georgetown Jewelry, proud supporter of Jarrell Cougar Football. For all of your jewelry needs, including weddings, visit Georgetown Jewelry online at georgetownjewelry.com or in the Williamsburg Village Shopping Center in Georgetown, Texas. Jarrell Cougar Football brought to you in part by YourPersonalMD.net. YourPersonalMD.net strives to be the real family doctor and desire to use our skills to provide high-quality care in a setting that will provide satisfaction for both ourselves and our patients. Visit YourPersonalMD.net. Go Cougars! Jarrell Cougar Football brought to you in part by Our Bank of Jarrell. When you do business with our bank, our community bankers will take the time to listen to your financial needs and desires in order to help you create unique solutions that will allow you to achieve these goals. We have solutions for your personal and business needs or a combination of the two. Visit ourbanktexas.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Jarrell Cougar Football presented by Georgetown Jewelry, YourPersonalMD.net, Our Bank of Jarrell, Eagle Auto Parts, and Papa John's Pizza. And we have kickoff here in Academy, Texas, fielded about the 5-yard line. In the south end of the field, brought down, nice tackle about the 19 on the far side, hash marks by the Cougars. What a stop by number 14, Brady Gola. What an arm tackle there. He reached out and brought the runner down at the 19-yard line, and that's where it's going to bring it up here in the Georgetown Jewelry first quarter here in Academy, Texas on John Glover Stadium. The Cougars will be on defense. 1st and 10 now for the Bumblebees in their own end at the 19-yard line. They're going to be shotgun formation. 5 receivers, 3 on the right, 2 on the left. Lone back is the quarterback. He's going to take it. Cephas going to run it right up the middle on a draw. He gets past the 25 and hit at about the 26, driven forward to about the 28-yard line, where it'll bring up 2nd and 1 now for the Bumblebees. It'll be a 2nd and 1 from their own 28. Yeah, we're We're going to have a running back offset to the right side of Cephas in the backfield. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Snap of the ball from the center of the field. It's going to be a quick pass to the left side. He's going to hit the receiver on the left side up past the outside numbers across the 35 up to about the 37. Make it the 38-yard line. It'll be a first down on a nice quick pass out to the right side. A gain of about 20 there. For the Bumblebees, Cephas the quarterback. Now he's got a running back off to his right side. They're in the all green with white letters, white helmets. Now he's got 2 running backs in the backfield. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Cephas will take it. He's going to hand it off up the middle. The running back hits the 40. He was up to the 38. I apologize. Now he hits to the 40. He gets stacked up. Gets to about the 42 before he's driven back. So it'll be a gain of about 4 yards. From the 38 up to the 42-yard line. A gain of 4. It'll bring up 2nd and 6 now. For the Bumblebees. They are moving players around, trying to get a hold of the numbers there. It looked like Franklin on that carry. Number 2, Darian Franklin. Cephas in the shotgun. He's got a running back offset to both sides. He's going to hand it to Franklin to the left side of the hash marks. He's going to make a cut up across the 45 to the 47. Where he's brought down just about a yard shy of the first down. So it'll be 3rd and 1 for the Bumblebees at the 47-yard line. By Franklin there. We'll go back. It looks like they've changed quarterbacks. Now it looks like Braden Lilly at quarterback, number 15. For the Bumblebees. He's got 2 running backs in the backfield, 1 on the left, 1 on the right, 1 receiver left, 1 right. He'll hit it to Franklin. Nope, he'll keep it right up the middle. Back to the line of scrimmage. Let's see if he gets a spot. Far side is going to be coming in. He had the spot. It's going to be no gain. It's going to be 4th and 1 from the 47. A great stop there. And it's going to be finally. We'll get the quarterback straightened out. I promise it's a lot of switching in and out. That's Ryan White now at the helm for the Bumblebees. No gain on the play. And that brings up 4th and 1. For the Bumblebees on their own 47-yard line. They're going to go for it. So a 4th down attempt here early on. He's got 3 receivers right, 2 left for White in the backfield. In the backfield all alone in the shotgun. Ryan White is going to take a step back. He's calling out. Now he changes the play. Number 4 comes in motion from the far outside. Comes in a little much. White's going to back up. Now there's a penalty down. Looks like it's going to be a delay of game. It is. All right, that's going to be a nice play. I love it. The referee throws a flag tonight. That flag brought to you by Pink Color in the month of October and the support of breast cancer awareness. That's going to be a 5-yard delay of game penalty on the Bumblebees, and that's going to change it up. They're going to be punting now. They back to the 42-yard line, so it brings up 4th and 6 now. After the penalty. So a big penalty there. The snap is back. The punt is up low. Angled to the right side here on the near side hash marks. And it's going to be downed at the 37-yard line of Jarrell. Not a very long punt into the wind there. And so the Cougars, they do a good job and get a first series hold on defense. And that'll bring the offense out for the Cougars. 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. 8:34 left here in the first quarter. Nothing to 0-0 score. So a great job by the Cougar defense to make a stand early. They let the Bendo break through. He kicks off and forces the punt on the 4th and 6. So the Cougars will take off here on the near side hash marks. And it looks like Aiden. Let's see who's at quarterback. Bad snap. Back pass Aaron Rodriguez. He picks it up back about the 28-yard line. He's going to scramble away from trouble into the near side of the sideline. He's going to get back to about the line of scrimmage, so no loss there. The snap troubles continue for the Cougars as Rodriguez couldn't handle that snap coming back at him, but it doesn't cost the Cougars. It'll be 2nd and 10. So back to the original line of scrimmage at the 37, which they made the 38. So we'll start at the 38. So it is 2nd and 10 from the 38. He's going to hand it off to Torres. Torres is going to sweep around to the right side, outside the numbers, cuts it back past the 40 to the 42, 43, and taken down. It looks like about the 44-yard line, where it's going to be a gain of about 6 yards there by Martin Torres. So Torres is going to gain About 6 yards there. It'll bring up 3rd and 4 now for the Cougars. Snap to Rodriguez. He's going to hand it off to Warren around the left side, past the 45, 47, to see where they mark him. It's going to be right at the line of scrimmage, or right at the first down marker. He's out about the 48-yard line. Blow it dead, and we're going to look at it. First down. All right, a great job by Warren there to get the sideline, take the dance moves up the chalk, and get out of bounds for the first down spot. So it'll be at the 48-yard line for the Cougars. Warren gets the first down. 2 receivers right, 1 left for the Cougars here on the near side hash marks. Aaron Rodriguez in shotgun with 2 running backs. He'll hand it to Martin Torres right up the middle. Tries to cut it back now, back up the middle to the 50. Make it to 49 on the Bumblebee side of the field. And so it'll be about a 3-yard gain over into Academy territory. It'll bring up 2nd and 7 for the Cougars on the near side hash marks. It's going to be spotted with 7:33 left here in the first quarter at the 49 of Academy. Torres thought about cutting it back, and he went back up the middle. The 2 running backs offset. Aaron Rodriguez in the shotgun. 2 receivers right. He'll turn, stick it in the belly of Warren. He cuts it up the middle to the 46, and he's driven back. He'll be spotted right about the 46-yard line, and that'll bring up 3rd down now, and about 4 yards for the Cougars. So a 3-yard gain there by Warren. So a lot of running and attack here, even though we have the wind at our backs. Warren and Torres getting the carries early. 2 receivers left now, and 1 receiver right. From the 46-yard line of Academy, Aaron Rodriguez pulls it out of Warren's belly. He's going to run around the outside up to the 45, make it the 44, maybe the 43. You'll see where they spot him. They're going to spot him out at the 44-yard line, so he's going to be short of the first down. It's going to be 4th and about 2. They're going to be at the 44-yard line of the Cougars. Only a 2-yard, the Bumblebees. Only a 2-yard gain there on the quarterback keeper. And now we got 2 receivers right, a tight end offset on the right side. Rodriguez in the backfield. He's going to fake the handoff. Nope. He sticks in the belly of Ward. He tries to get outside. He's going to be thrown down for a 1 or 2 yard loss. Make it 1 yard loss back to midfield or the 45-yard line. And it'll be turnover on downs as Warren can't get outside. The defensive line of the Bumblebees steps up and makes the stop. And so the ball goes back over to the Bumblebees now. Here in the first quarter on their own 45-yard line after its turnover on downs. 6 minutes, 41 seconds left in the first quarter. Still a 0-0 game early on in the ball game. Bumblebees get their second possession after a big stop on 4th and 2 and a 1 yard loss there by Warren. Cougars on defense. White takes a handoff. Shotgun snap, hands it to the upback. He runs right up the middle, breaks a couple of tackles, and gets all the way to the 45 of Jarrell. And that's going to be enough for a first down for the Bumblebees. White handed it off to number 15, I believe it was, Braden Lilly. Lots of changing in and out. Like I said on the stat sheet, you look at them, 3 passers, 3 rushers in the top. So tough to find them. Ryan White in the shotgun. 2 receivers left. He's going to hand it off. No, he keeps it. Yep, he does hand it off. He does the great belly fake there. The running back, number 40, gets outside the numbers all the way down past the 30, 25, and run out of bounds at the 23-yard line. A big gain there by number 40, Trenton Flanagan. That was the dangerous one we talked about. The number 3 stat runner for the Bumblebees. But it looks like a flag. It's going to be offsides on the Cougars, so that's going to be declined. That'll be a first down run from the 45 all the way down to the 23-yard line of Jarrell. So another first down for the Bumblebees as they set here on their second possession. 6 minutes, 7 seconds left in the first quarter. 0-0 score. 2 receivers left, 1 right for the Bumblebees from the near side hash marks. Ryan White, the shotgun snap. He's going to turn it, hand it to Flanagan right up the middle. Gets back to about the 21, falls forward to the 20. It'll be a gain of 3. Bring up 2nd and 7 now for the Bumblebees. A good job there by the defensive line of the Cougars, getting quick contact on Flanagan. Taller back, some elusive shaking skills there. It looks like he took a good hit, though. He's coming off kind of gingerly, trotting off the far side of the field. Number 2 in the backfield, Darian Franklin. And now let's see who joins him back there. Maybe that Braden Lilly. 5 guys turn and face the sidelines to get the call. Numerous weapons for the Bumblebees. And they'll send 1 receiver left, number 3, McWilliams. 2 receivers right. Ryan White in the backfield. 35 in motion, jet sweep. They're going to hand it off to number 35. He's going to go across the outside to the hash marks now, trying to get to the numbers, and he's bottled up about the 14, making the 15-yard line. He took a pop there as someone held him up, and the backside help came along. It's going to bring up about a 3rd and 2, I believe, as he gets down to the 15-yard line of Jarrell there on the run. Number 35, Tegan Jones with the jet sweep, came from the right side and got the ball from Ryan White on the handoff. Now it's going to be a empty backfield. Ryan White, the quarterback, by himself in the shotgun. 3 receivers right, 2 left here for the Bumblebees on a short 3rd and 2. White's going to go up the middle. Jake Copeland gets through and makes the sack, and what a play by Jake Copeland. The senior steps up, bottles White up, and takes him down to the ground for a loss. It should be a nice little loss there as he gets back to takes him back to about the 17-yard line. A nice sack there by Jake Copeland. Ryan White didn't have much time to think about anything. That's going to bring up 4th and 5 now for the Bumblebees. And the kicker over there stretching, wanting his shot, but he's not going to get it here as the Bumblebees go for it now with 4 minutes and 5 seconds left in the first quarter. Bumblebees driving here down to the 17-yard line of the Cougars. Ryan White with a running back, offset to his left side. It's going to be Franklin. White drops back to pass, right up the middle to 35. The ball is almost picked off by the Cougars in the end zone, but it falls incomplete, and that's a great play. You know what? Maybe the beneficiary there, knock the ball down, don't intercept it. At least you get to 17 instead of getting it about the 2-yard line, 1-yard line. If he comes out there and gets tackled, it'll be a long field to play with. But nonetheless, the Cougars take over with 3 minutes, 53 seconds left in the first quarter. For their second possession, after a turnover on downs, Academy went for it on 4th and 5 and was incomplete. From Williams Ryan White to 35, Tegan Jones on the pass attempt. Aaron Rodriguez leads the Cougars back out on the field from their own 17-yard line to start the second possession. He's got 1 running back off to his left. Now Compton's going to come in motion on the jet sweep. He gets the handoff. He dances around about the 15. Got to get back. Now he cuts back to the right, back up, and he gets to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard gain on the play up to the 18-yard line. Not much room to run there as it got stretched out by the Bumblebee defense. They did a good job keeping it and staying home on their assignments, not letting Compton get to the outside. It's going to be a gain of 1. Make it 2 up to the 19-yard line, so it'll bring up 2nd and 8 now for the Cougars. Aaron Rodriguez with Warren offset to his left side. 3 receivers right. He's going to draw back. Quick pass. He hits Compton. Caught about the 23-yard line. Hit quickly. They'll spot him at the 24. So a nice catch. He went up and got it. And immediately popped there by number 20 on the Bumblebee defense. Corbin Bush makes the tackle. But he gets the completion on the pass up to the 24-yard line. So a gain of about 5 there for the Cougars. And that'll bring up about 3rd and 5. Can't be. 3rd and 3. They're going to hand it off to Torres on the sweep to the right side. Outside the numbers, 25, 30. Breaks a tackle up past the 30 to the 32-yard line, and that'll be another first down for your Cougars. Nice run by Martin Torres. He didn't hesitate that time. He took the ball and went to scampering and gets up to the 32-yard line now. So a nice first down run for the Cougars and Martin Torres as they went back to the 2 running back formation on the either side of Aaron Rodriguez. Now they'll change it up to 1 receiver right, 3 receivers left. Rodriguez in the shotgun snap. He'll take the snap, hand it off quickly to Warren. He comes out the outside the hash marks to the numbers, across the 35 to the 37, where he's knocked down there. But a nice gain there of about 5 yards by Warren. They'll set him up at the 37-yard line, a gain of 5. Bring up 2nd and 5 now for the Cougars. 2 minutes, 10 seconds left in the first quarter and ticking. 0-0 score, second possession of the game for the Cougars. 3 receivers right, 1 left on the near hash marks. Rodriguez takes a shotgun snap, drops back about 5 yards. He's going to go down the middle deep to Schomburger. Schomburger he kind of plays it, and the defensive back goes up and over him, and it's going to be intercepted by number 35. There he is, Tegan Jones. And you should see an unsportsmanlike penalty come out there as Jones makes the interception and then sticks it in the belly of the Cougars. He runs off kind of celebrating about the interception. Schomburger did not go up strong on that. He came up a little limpy coming off the field here. He's limping off with looks like his right ankle hurt. And so the Cougars turned the ball over on the interception from Heron Rodriguez. Intercepted back at the 34-yard line by the Academy Bumblebees and Tegan Jones. He's making his name known early. 1 minute, 56 seconds left here in the first half. At the 34, the Bumblebees take over for their third possession. Ryan White back in quarterback. He's got Franklin offset to his right. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. They'll snap it from the near side, hash marks. And now a flag is thrown from the back umpire. Let's see what he calls. It's going to be another delay of game unless they get a timeout. Coach Paul Williams, it looks like, got the timeout called for the Bumblebees. So with 1 minute 56 seconds left here in the first quarter, the Bumblebees burn their first timeout to save the 5-yard penalty. So it'll still be 1st and 10 for the Bumblebees after the quick timeout. We'll take it with them. Be right back here on SHN Sports and Jarrell Cougar Football. Jarrell Cougar Football presented by Georgetown Jewelry, yourpersonalmd.net, Our Bank of Jarrell, Eagle Auto Parts, and Papa John's Pizza. And back here on SHN Sports, Jarrell Cougar Football. We're in the first quarter with 1 minute 56 seconds left. Ryan White takes a shotgun snap, runs it on a quarterback keeper, gets up to about the 37-yard line where he's popped. Jake Copeland and number 72, I believe it was, on the tackle. Thomas Clausen with him. Joins in there after a gain of 3 now to bring up 2nd and 7 from the 34 up to the 37-yard line for the Bumblebees. So 2nd and 7 for the Bumblebees. And I apologize now. The downs and distance is not being kept up with. I'm by myself solo tonight, running the computers and the controllers while doing the broadcast. Ryan White now with the 2 receivers left. 1 right for the Bumblebees here in the near hash. He's got 2 running backs. Fakes it, keeps it on the quarterback keeper, and he's hit. No gain. It looks like back to the line of scrimmage where he got popped by number 18, Aiden Edgar, with a nice pop. White pissed off, gets up shoving his own player, spikes the ball. So some attitude being shown by White as he is not happy about something there. And that brings up 3rd and 7 after the no gain. And the nice play by the Cougar defensive line to stop White there. 3rd and 7 now from their own 37-yard line. Going to go with 2 receivers to the left. Franklin's going to be set up as a tight end just off the line on the left side. 2 receivers right. All alone in the backfield will be Ryan White. He takes a shotgun snap. The rush on. He scrambles, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and he's taken down about the 48, maybe rolls forward to the 49-yard line. Timeout taken there. By the Cougars. It'll bring up 4th and 5. And Coach quickly takes a timeout. 22 seconds left there in the first quarter. And Coach Davidson takes a timeout. He wants the air. They're going to throw it here, I have a feeling. As they've got the ball, they got a chance to get the ball back in great field position as it's 4th and 5 from the 39-yard line of Academy. After White, unable to get the pass away, he has to step up and try to run it. And the only reason positive yards came was because the tackle kind of brought him forward as they rolled him down to the ground. And that'll bring up a punt here for the Bumblebees. And so now we'll have the punt formation on. Deep for the Cougars will be absolutely nobody. They're expecting maybe a fake here. They've got the line, and they got the 2 backs to be deep. They're only at the 50-yard line. The shotgun snap back, the low line drive kick. It bounces at the 48-yard line and rolls down to the 46-yard line of Jarrell. So a short punt from their own 39 to the Jarrell 46-yard line. And that's where Jarrell will take over with 15 seconds left in the first quarter. They've got the win at their back. So Jarrell may take a shot here at putting the ball up. We'll see what Coach Davidson pulls out of the hat here as Jarrell has great field position for their third possession of the ball game. So far the defense doing their job. 2 punts and a turnover on downs being forced by the Cougar defense, and that'll bring them up 1st and 10 from their own 46. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right for the Cougars. Heron Rodriguez in the shotgun. Warren offset to his right side. He'll take the shotgun snap. Hand it off to Warren. He's going to run it past the 45-50. Pops it outside of the 45. Into the territory of the Bumblebees. Cuts off of the 40. Breaks 2 tackles. Gets down past the 40 to the 38, maybe the 37-yard line. Let's see where they spot him. Looks like the 37 here on the near side. Nice run by Derek Warren to end the first quarter. 4 seconds left in the quarter. And seeing if they took a timeout or not. No, they're not. They're going to let the clock run out. Got all the way down to the 37-yard line. Derek Warren with a great run into Academy Bumblebee territory. Gets the ball down to the 37. It'll be the end of the first quarter. 0-0 our score. And the Cougars on their third possession trying to make something happen and change it up here in Academy. We'll take a quick timeout. Be back with more Jarrell Cougar football here on SHN Sports. Welcome back to SHN Sports coverage of Jarrell Cougar football. Here to start the second quarter, the Cougars have the ball. 1st and 10 from the 37 of Academy. Rodriguez takes a shotgun snap, puts it in the belly of Warren. He's going to get ridden down back at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard gain. He didn't have much time. The defensive line of the Bumblebees got through quickly and rode him down for no gain. So it'll bring up 2nd and 10. That first quarter of Cougar football brought to you by Georgetown Jewelry. And thank you to them and Ricky Poe for all they do for SHN Sports. This second quarter brought to you by Rob Hip Insurance of Jarrell Cougar football. 2nd and 10. Heron Rodriguez takes a snap. Delayed handoff to Warren. Now the pile is getting moving. It goes past the 35 to about the 34-yard line. A gain of 3 yards there for the Cougars. So it'll bring up 3rd and 7 now. After a gain of 3. So we'll see what happens here. 3rd down, 7 yards to go for the Cougars. Rodriguez with 3 receivers right. Quick pass, hits Compton, and he's hit quickly there by number 9, Abel Vasquez, and cannot hold on to it. Right at the 30-yard line. Would have been short of the first down. So it'll bring up 4th down now, back at the 34-yard line. And it looks like the Cougars will go for it here. You got 3 receivers off to the right, 1 receiver, lone receiver off to the left. Warren offset to the right side of Rodriguez in the shotgun snap in the backfield. From the center of the field at the 34-yard line, it's a little swing pass to Warren. He's quickly bottled up, and he breaks 2 tackles up to the 30. Now the pile moves him to about the 29-yard line. He's going to be short of the first down, so it'll be a turnover on downs. Warren made a great play to escape 3 Bumblebee defenders, but he couldn't get all the way back to the first down marker, so he'll come up short, gets down to the 29-yard line. And that's where Academy will take over here for their first possession of the second quarter. 10 minutes, 48 seconds left in the second quarter. The Bumblebees 0, the Cougars 0. The Bumblebees take over at their own 29-yard line. Ryan White, the quarterback, offset with 1 running back to his right in the backfield. 3 receivers right, 1 left for the Bumblebees here on the near hash mark. Snap, he's going to pass quickly to the right side into Franklin. He gets past the 30 up to the 35, 36-yard line where he's ridden down there by Compton. Nice tackle there. The little bubble pass to Franklin. You're not going to hand him the ball. Get him a quick screen pass there. And he gets up for about a 5-yard gain up to the 36-yard line. Maybe a 7-yard gain. Gets up to the 36-yard line, where it'll bring up second and 4 for the Bumblebees. Now on the far hash mark. 1 receiver right, 3 left. One runner back in the backfield with White. He'll take back another bubble screen to the left to Tegan Jones, and he drops it. Good job of picking it up. They're going to blow it dead. It might have been a lateral there, but a great play by the Cougars. They had it covered, but Tegan Jones couldn't hold on, so the incompletion will bring up 3rd down and 4 for the Bumblebees from their own 36-yard line. 10 minutes, 7 seconds left here in the second quarter. 3rd down and 4. The Bumblebees in their own territory on the far hash mark. They're going to have 3 receivers left. 1 receiver right. 1 running back offset to the right of White in the backfield. Now White's going to keep it. Now he pitches it out to the right side. Hit him at the line of scrimmage, driven out of bounds, and he's going to be short. It looks like he only got back to about the 36-yard line. We'll see where they mark him on the far side. Maybe a yard gain up to the 37. There's a penalty flag on the play. So let's see how that affects it. The spot of the ball on the far side was about the 37-yard line. Would have bring up about a 4th and 2. But I think there's a hold on the offense here on the Bumblebees. So we'll see as they talk about it. It's going to be holding on the Bumblebees. So it'll be a 10-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage, which was the 36-yard line. So that's going to take them back to the 26-yard line and bring up 3rd and 14 now for the Bumblebees. So a big play there. They got the runner out of bounds, but it would have only been 4th and 3. So we'll take the penalty there, drop them back to the 26-yard line. And it brings up a long 3rd down and 14 now. Let's see where they call it from. The 26. The ball was originally at the 29. So it'll be 3rd and 13 for the Bumblebees. 3 receivers left, 1 receiver right. Franklin, the running back in the backfield with White. He'll step back. He fakes the pass. Now he's going to go long. He's wide open, but he overthrows it. That wind is strong. He overthrew number 15, Braden Lilly, by about 5 yards, and that brings up a 4th and 13 for the Bumblebees, and another punt to come. And a great job by the Cougar defense. They hold again and force another punt. So it'll be 4 possessions for the Bumblebees and 3 punts and 1 turnover on down. So the Cougar defense doing their job. Now they'll drop a Compton back. They've got the win here. Ryan White punting for the Bumblebees as well. He's back to about his own 37-yard line. White gets it away. A nice kick there. Going to chase over Compton's head and hits about the 30. And they get a Bumblebee roll there as it goes down about the 21, maybe the 22-yard line out of bounds. So a nice punt there. They use the wind to their advantage. Ryan White with a good punt. Keeps it away from Compton where he can't field it and gets the kind Bumblebee roll. And that'll bring up 1st down and 10 now for the Cougars at their own 22-yard line. Their first true possession of the second quarter, as the last possession went into the second quarter and ended on the turnover on down. So they'll take over at their own 22. 9 minutes, 31 seconds left here in the first half now as the Cougars get set to take over 1st and 10 from their own 22-yard line. They'll set up play from the far side hash marks. They'll have Schomburger over by himself. They're going to have to hurry now. 5 seconds left on the play clock. 2 receivers right, and Heron Rodriguez gets the snap with 1 second left. He'll hand it, faked it. He throws it out to the right side. He's hit while he releases, and that pass goes out of bounds, incomplete. That play kind of blown up from the get-go as they tried to rush to the line of scrimmage, kind of delayed, almost drew the penalty. But it's incomplete and brings up 2nd down and 10 from their own 22-yard line as the Cougars look over to the sideline for the play call. 20 seconds left on the play clock, 9 minutes, 25 seconds left in the first half. 2 receivers right, 1 left for the Cougars. 2 running backs in the backfield. He's going to hand it off to Torres. Nope. Heron Rodriguez pulls it out, keeps it right up the middle, up past the 25 to the 30, and then he's stacked up and driven back, thrown down on the ground, but after a 6-yard, make it an 8-yard pickup all the way up to the 30. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 now for the Cougars. Nice run decision there on the run-pass option there as Heron Rodriguez pulls it out of the stomach of Torres and keeps it himself for an 8-yard gain. Both were being stopped there at the 30-yard line. 32 from their own 30-yard line. Rodriguez with one running back in the backfield with him. He's going to hand it to Warren around to the right side. Cuts back to the 30, now to the 33, 34. Stacked up, now drug across the 35-yard line. Make it the 36, and that'll be a Cougar first down. A great play there by Warren. And then the old lineman, he turned around. I think it was Bremen. Nope, Anthony Gaddison, I believe, grabbed him and pulled him forward. And they'll spot it just on the past the 35-yard line, but nonetheless, it's going to be first and 10 from their own 35-yard line. They'll give a 5-yard gain there to Torres. Torres is going to take the handoff from Rodriguez, and he cuts it to the right side. Now back up the middle, and for a gain of about 4 up to the 39-yard line. Looks like where they'll spot the Cougars here. Make it to 39, so it'll bring up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6 for the Cougars from their own 39-yard line. A nice little run there. So the Cougars doing a lot of running here with the wind in their face here in the second quarter. 8 minutes on the clock left in the first half. 2 receivers right, 1 left for the Cougars. Rodriguez, shotgun snap. He'll hand it to Torres around the right side. He's being chased, stops, cuts back. Now he's going to have to cut it back up, and he's going to lose a yard here. They're going to spot him back at the 39, so he gets a generous spot back to the original line of scrimmage. Back to the line of scrimmage at 39, so no gain on the run there by Torres. So we'll see if there's a flag here. There's some conversating. So the Bumblebees, that's what it was. They weren't just talking to number 9, Abel Vasquez. They gave him a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty. That's going to give the Cougars a first down into Bumblebee territory. All the way down to the ball blowing over. It was spotted, I believe, at the 46-yard line before the wind got it. So we'll go down to the 46-yard line, the unsportsmanlike conduct after the play. So it'll be first and 10 into Academy territory for the Cougars. They'll start with 2 running backs on either side of Rodriguez. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Rodriguez takes a snap, but we have a penalty flag thrown. The whistle blown dead. It's going to be a false start on the Cougars. So they'll take 15, and then they'll turn over 5 right back to them. Unfortunately, that's going to bring up a first and 15 now on the Cougars on their own 49-yard line. So they'll back it up. 2 penalties in a row here now on the drive. Brings up a first and 15 from the Jarrell 49-yard line. 7 minutes, 17 seconds left here in the first half. 0-0 the score as both teams struggling to get past 1 or 2 first downs in each drive and then turning the ball over or punting or turning it over on downs. And so the battle continues now as Rodriguez takes the snap. He's going to hand it to Warren. Nope, keeps it right up the middle. And he drives past the 50 to the 45, taken down hard at the 43-yard line. But a nice run to get back the penalty yardage and a few more as he gets all the way down to the 43-yard line of Academy. So a gain of 8 there by Heron Rodriguez on the quarterback keeper right up the middle. It brings up 2nd and 7 now. 2 receivers left, 2 right now for the Cougars. He's going to hand it off to Warren. Warren drives past the 40, 39, lowers his head, gets up to the 38-yard line. And it's going to bring up about a 3rd and 2 now for the Cougars. Nice little 5-yard run there by Warren. He lowered his head about the 40, gets a couple more yards, and brings up a short 3rd and 2 now for the Cougars from the 38 of the Bumblebees. 2 receivers left, 2 right. Snap the ball here from the near side hash marks. Rodriguez, he'll hand it to Warren. He dances around, now hits the hole, drives up past the 40, 35, breaks a tackle, gets all the way up to the 30. Where he's going to get down to the 29-yard lines. Well, they'll spot him. So a nice run there by Warren. Some nifty footwork as he breaks away from a couple of defenders and gets a nice gain of about 7 there for another Jarrell Cougar first down. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Quick snap now. Rodriguez, he's going to pull it out of Warren's belly right up the middle. Bound past the 25 all the way down to the 20, maybe the 19. We'll see where they spot him. Near side has him at the 19. We'll see what spot they go with. We'll see where they go here. They're going to spot the ball. It'll be right between the 19 and 20-yard line. Almost a 10-yard gain there for Rodriguez. It's going to bring They're going to give him the first down to the 19. So a nice keeper there by Rodriguez. The middle opened up. And so the Cougars taking control there. First and 10 from the 19. Now they'll hand it to Warren. He dances, cuts back in the middle. Right up the middle past the 15-yard line to the 14. Now I can't bring him down. All the way down to the 11 or 12-yard line. Warren dancing and working. What moves there by Warren. I don't know how he finds the holes. That young man is just crafty in those moves, and he does a great job. Gets the ball down to the 12-yard line, and a gain of 7 for the Cougars. Brings up a short. 2nd and 3 now, as they got one receiver left, 2 right, in the middle of the field. They'll snap the ball with running backs on both sides of Heron Rodriguez. He'll hand it to Torres. Nope, pulls it out. Back up the middle. It opens up. Now he cuts out to the outside of the hash marks, and he's having a dance. Gets a block. It's going to be a block in the back, so no matter what happens here, this one's coming back as the Bumblebees stack up on Rodriguez. And so the play kind of goes to a bust, and now a penalty after the fact on a Bumblebee. He's pointing at him now. That's going to be another unsportsmanlike conduct. So luckily, it's a dead ball foul, so that's going to help the Cougars. So we'll get it all sorted out here. It's going to be a block in the back. That's got a penalty. It's going to punish the Cougars. But after that, after the dead ball, it's going to be a first down for the Cougars after the unsportsmanlike conduct on the Bumblebee. So we'll see as they set it here. We'll see what they're going to do. As the Cougars on a nice drive here to running some clock here in the second quarter, all the way down to the 4:41 left in the first half. They started out with the ball at 9:31, so they've already burnt about 5 minutes here in the second quarter. So we'll see what happens now as the head referee is over there talking to Coach Paul Williams on the far sideline. He's given the instructions of what happened and what the penalty call was. A secondary coach there, one of the assistants, is yelling furious at the referee at the same time. And so Coach Paul Williams is going to come back out, or he's going to take the instruction from the referee, and he's back to the sideline now as the Cougars huddle up, waiting to see where the ball gets spotted. So blocking the back on the Cougars. So we'll see where they're going to spot this. It's going to be from the 12-yard line. So they're going to go backwards from the 12. It should be a 10-yard penalty back to the 22. But then you've got the unsportsmanlike conduct. So we'll see what happens here. They're dancing around trying to figure out what to do. They're going to take the ball and spot it back to the 22-yard line. That referee now will turn around and head back to the north end of the field. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Bumblebees. I believe it was on number 6. Nope, there is no 6. Can't see what number he's wearing over there. You can see he is not happy. Maybe it's number 8, Dalton Head. And so that's going to bring the ball all the way back to the 11. And so after the penalties, it's going to go back to the 11-yard line. And a first down and 10 for the Cougars. 2 receivers right, 1 left, 2 receivers left, 1 running back in the backfield. Rodriguez, quick pass to the left side. And he's going to put it up past the 10, the 5, into the end zone. Jarrell Cougar, touchdown, and a penalty. Now the flags fly. I tell you what, the laundry is all over the field here. Oh. See who it was. Yep, Martin Torres took the swing pass. Great play, works through the traffic and gets into the end zone. But we have a penalty here, so we'll see what gets called here momentarily. We're sitting at 4:28 left in the first half. And the Cougars got a touchdown pending, so we'll see what they call. It looks like the touchdown's going to be good. A penalty was called, and it looks like the near side line judge just said 7, like the penalty was on Schomburger. And Coach Davidson is talking to Schomburger as we speak. So it looks like now here comes the referee over to talk to Coach Davidson here on the near sideline about the 19-yard line. So it looks like the touchdown is going to count, even though the John Glover Stadium scorekeeper will not put it on the board. The Jarrell Cougars are going to take the lead here, 6-0. With 4:28 left in the ballgame, and there he goes on the board. So a touchdown there on the 11-yard touchdown pass from Rodriguez to Martin Torres. And so now I'm not sure what happened. A whistle blown. It looks like a timeout was taken. So we'll take a quick one with them. Timeout taken here on the field. And your Cougars have taken the lead. We'll be back on SHN Sports coverage of Jarrell Cougar football after this. Jarrell Cougar football presented by Georgetown Jewelry, yourpersonalmd.net, Our Bank of Jarrell, Eagle Auto Parts, and Papa John's Pizza. So the touchdown is good for the Cougars. They lead 6-0 with 4:28 left here in the first half. Jesus Perez on for the extra point attempt. Snap is back and down by Edgar. The kick is up and through the uprights, and it's good. And the Cougars score first, 7-0. They lead the ballgame over the Academy Bumblebees here on the road in district play. What a drive there by the Cougars. They started off with the ball at the 9-minute, 31-second mark of the second quarter and burned over 5 minutes off the game clock. What a job there as they do it in some nice style running from Martin Torres, Heron Rodriguez, Derek Warren, and then the 11-yard touchdown pass caps off the drive from Heron Rodriguez to Martin Torres. But now the kickoff, they're setting it at the 40. Personal foul, or unsportsmanlike conduct, personal foul on the Cougars. So this is where it's going to get dicey. Into the wind. They're going to have to kick off from their own 25-yard line. So the challenge is on for Jesus Perez as he gets set to kick the ball away here in the second quarter. Brought to you by Rob Hip Insurance on SHN Sports. 4 minutes, 28 seconds left here in the second quarter. Cougars lead at 7-0. And I better update that now. I apologize. 7-0. Your Cougars lead it. Getting ready to kick the ball off. Jesus Perez will tee it up from his own 25-yard line. And that's where an unsportsmanlike personal foul comes to haunt you when you've got a wind that is stiff into your face coming out of the north. And that's where the Cougars will be kicking off from the south to the north. So they're kicking off left to right on the radio dial. The Bumblebee's back. Their deep receiver is back at the 40-yard line. So we'll see as Perez backs up 10 yards and the ball's off the tee. So here will come number 10, Christopher Pursley, and he'll hold it on the tee there for Jesus Perez to kick off. This wind is whipping north to south here in John Glover Stadium in Little River Academy, Texas. Perez gets ready now. He backs up to 10 yards to the 15-yard line. He's going to get a run and go with this one as he approaches. And here come the Cougars. The ball is up, short. It gets into the 40. It's fielded. The ball's out. The Cougars jump on it. Let's see who gets it. It looks like the Cougars got the ball. And they do. What a kick. And you couldn't draw that one up any better. Props to Jesus Perez on the onside accidental kick. He hit it up into the wind, and it went nowhere. One of the Academy Bumblebees tried to field it and couldn't hold on to it. It squirts free, and the Cougars take over again. What a great job there by the kick team to get down. They saw the ball coming up short, and they jumped on the ball and kept possession. And now the Cougars will take over at their own 44-yard line. You couldn't ask for a better outcome after such a short kick there due to the wind after that penalty. So the Cougars are going to take back over the ball. 4 minutes, 23 seconds left here in the first half. And they've got it at their own 44-yard line. Heron Rodriguez in the backfield. He's going to hand it off to the up back. That's going to be Compton. He cuts past the 45, the 50, 45, 40. He breaks a tackle, hops the receiver out of the 30, 25, 20. He's got a host of blockers, and he's run out of bounds about the 15-yard line. There he came in, Jasper Compton. What a run. Not new legs in the backfield, and Compton didn't waste any time with the big run for the Cougars all the way down to the 15-yard line. Make it to 16. For Compton. So what a run there into Academy territory and a big first down for the Cougars. Two receivers right, one left for the Cougars on the far side hash marks. Two running backs offset on either side of Rodriguez. He's going to hand it to Compton again on the right side of the red hash marks. Cut back to the middle, down to the 10, now the 5. He's going to go all the way in. Jarrell Cougar touchdown. Jasper Compton comes in and touches the ball twice and puts it in the end zone for the Cougars. What a play for the Cougars, and they move the score now 13-0 here on the road. And, man, you talk about taking advantage, the momentum and everything going for the Cougars. 4 minutes and 3 seconds. That drive took no time. 20 seconds off the clock on a two-play drive, capped off by the Jasper Compton 16-yard run. They're going to go for two here, and it's going to be no good. He stopped right at the 1 yard line and driven back. So the two-point conversion is no good. And that leaves our score at 13-0. Your Cougars lead it. 3:58. The clock shouldn't have run there. I'm not sure why they ran it in the extra point. So the clock should actually be at 4:03. But a flag comes in late now. And here goes the discussion by the referees again. They all come in and huddle up about the 6 yard line in the middle of the field. But the Cougars, what a drive by Jasper Compton. Put a gold star on that drive. That's the Jasper Compton drive, brought to you here in the Rob Hip Insurance second quarter on SHN Sports. He had the first run from the 44 all the way down to the 16-yard line. That penalty is going to go. Offsetting penalties. They called one on each team. And so the penalties are just applying it. You get a little chippy out there. And so the referee's trying to squelch it early, as that's about number 4 or 5 on the extracurricular penalties thrown for unsportsmanlike conduct or unnecessary roughness. And so they'll come over to the sidelines and set it up. So the Cougars will kick off from their own 45-yard line after the quick drive, the two-play drive. Jasper Compton, let's just give him credit, 56 yards on 2 carries and a Cougar touchdown by Compton. What a job there. The 16-yard TD run moves the score to 13-0. And so the Cougars will kick off again after the failed 2-point conversion, leading 13-0 with 3:58 left in the ball game in the first half. Should be 4:03, and the clock operator ran the clock during the 2-point conversion, which should not happen. And so it's 3:58 on the clock in the second quarter. The Cougars, what a job. Oh, got so excited. I'm going to update it. 13-0. Your Cougars leading the ball game. Pursley holds the ball on the tee for Perez. He's going to approach it and kick off from the 40-yard line. The kick is away. Nice and deep. High end over end, fielded on the far side of the field at the 15-yard line. He's going to cut it back to the 20, 25, now to the outside. A guy falls down, can't get him, up to the 50 where he's tripped up by Jesus Perez. Perez makes the tackle after the long return. I believe it was by Franklin, the running back. Trying to see where he went in there to catch that number. No, number 3, Jalen McWilliams. What a speed runner there as he fielded the ball at the 15-yard line on the far side of the field. Gets it all the way up. They're going to give him up to the 47 of Jarrell. So a big return there for the Bumblebees. 3 minutes, 49 seconds left here in the first half. 47-yard line of Jarrell is where the Bumblebees will take over for the possession. Ryan White, the quarterback, in the backfield. 2 receivers left and 2 right. He's going to hand it to McWilliams right up the middle. He's going to get all the way down to the 35-yard line of Jarrell. That'll be a 12-yard run and a first down for the Bumblebees right away. As McWilliams, the running back right now in the backfield, wasted no time. He took that handoff and hit the hole quickly. Now it'll be 3 receivers left, and now Franklin, the running back, in the backfield offset to the right side of Ryan White. 1 receiver right. He's going to hand it to Franklin. Nope, he'll keep it around the outside. Ryan White past the 35, up to the 30, breaks a tackle, down to the 25, 20, where he's ridden out of bounds. Inside the 15-yard line. It looks like they're going to spot him out at the 15. So it'll be a big run there all the way down for a 20-yard gain there by the quarterback. A great job there of pulling it out and keeping it around the right side outside the numbers. He broke one tackle and finally taken out at the 15. A 1st and 10 now for the Bumblebees as they push the ball, trying to get in for a score here to start it before halftime. 3 minutes and 16 seconds. The clock should be stopped. Now it'll run on the snap. 2 receivers left, 2 right. He'll hand it to Franklin this time. He dances to the right, stopped him at the 15. He'll get forward maybe to the 13. He's bottled up, and they finally blow the whistle. Ball's out, but it's blown dead, thankfully, because no Cougars were around. It would have been scooped up for a touchdown by McWilliams. But the play was blown dead and about the 13-yard line. So a gain of 2 there on the run by Franklin. So it brings up 2nd and 8 now for the Bumblebees at the 13-yard line of Jarrell, the Cougars. That's a Jarrell Cougar, the Jaguars. I apologize there. The Cougars. Now on defense, 2nd and 7. The Bumblebees have it. Man in motion. He's going to get the jet sweep to the left side. It's going to be Tegan Jones. He's bottled up. Now he reverses field. Back to the 20. Back to the 23. He's finally bottled up again, and now he's going to be brought down as they all gather around. The ball's out, but the whistle is blown. Great pursuit by the Cougars, and that's going to be a loss of about 8 yards. There's a penalty flag on the ground about the 12-yard line. See what the flag is. They spot him finally down at the 21-yard line. So it'll be a loss of about 8 yards. But it's a holding on the Bumblebees. They're going to decline that and take the 8-yard loss. Man, that is a generous spot for Franklin as he bailed, or Tegan Jones. He circled back about the 23 is where he was drugged down, but they gave him the 21-yard line. So it'll be a loss of 8 there on the run, and that'll bring up a 3rd. They got to get down to the 5, so 3rd and 16 for the Bumblebees. Ryan White, he's going to pass across the middle. It's caught by number 15. Ball's out. And it's blown dead again. Number 15, Braden Lilly, makes the catch, but he gets taken down short of the first down, about the 7-yard line. Early whistle there, and Braden Lilly brings it all the way down to the 7-yard line. Gain of 14 there. So now it'll be 4th and 2 from the 7-yard line. They got to get to the 5 for the first down. Shotgun snap to White. He's going to hand it. Nope, keeps it around the right side, about the 10. He can't be caught there. No containment on the right side. And Ryan White is going to just stroll into the end zone for the Bumblebee touchdown. And that'll cut our score now. 13 for Jarrell, 6 for the Bumblebees on the 7-yard touchdown run by Ryan White, the quarterback. He likes that keeper around the right side. And number 63, Anthony Gaddison, on the far end, couldn't get out there in time, and there was no help as the pursuit came across on the fake. And so now the extra point, it's going to be a fake. Ryan White takes a snap. Now he's going to curl the end zone, and no one out there, and he's going to get the 2-point conversion. And that's going to cut the score to a 5-point lead now for the Cougars, 13-8. They were back in the field goal kick. Snapped the ball to the quarterback, Ryan White. Instead of putting it down, he picks it up and takes off running around the right end, and that's where pay dirt is found again, and that makes it a 13-8 ball game with 1:16 left here in the first half. White has found that weakness quickly there in the last 2 plays, so the Cougars will have to cover up there on that far side of the defensive side of the ball and not let White have that wide open far end zone as he got to that far corner and punched in the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. 13-8, 1:16 left here in the first half. The Cougars lead it by 5. They'll get set to receive the ball here. Now the Cougars do get the ball to start the second half as they deferred the coin flip. They won the coin flip, deferred the decision, and so they will get the ball to start the second half. So it will be nice here if they can push it down and get some points here to end the first half and start the second half off with the ball and do some damage. Number 4, Blake Bundy, the kicker. He kicks a squibber. It hits a Cougar up in the air, and it's fielded by the Bumblebees. They're going to get the ball about the 39, making the 38-yard line. It's got to be blown dead. He can't advance that. So it'll be at the 40-yard line. The Bumblebees take over. Now, see, the clock doesn't run there, but it ran on the extra point. So that's kind of ridiculous, but the score clock operator has no idea what he's doing up there on the home side of the stand. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 41 of Jarrell. So now the Bumblebees have the ball in Jarrell territory with 1:16 on the clock. And they got the ball back on the onside kick that paid off. Pass thrown. Tried to hit Lilly. And it's batted down, almost picked off by the Cougars. But it's incomplete. So it'll bring up a 2nd and 10 from the Jarrell 41-yard line. Now they'll take their time. Only 3 seconds went off the clock there. To watch the clock operation here. This management of the time, the scorekeeper is not going well here. So now 3 receivers left, 1 right for the Bumblebees. White is going to take the snap. Rolls out to the left. He's going to heave it towards the end zone using that wind. He hangs it up for McWilliams, but he overthrows him by about 3 yards as he laid out for the ball. And it's incomplete. Nice pass by Williams, but that wind just carried it a little far. And that'll bring up now 3rd and 10 from the 41-yard line of Jarrell for the Bumblebees. Ryan White curled out all the way back from the 41, took the snap, curled back and threw that ball from about the 48-yard line of Jarrell and about 5 or 6 yards deep in the end zone. A nice tight spiral, but that wind carried it just out of the reach of McWilliams, the receiver. So with 1:05 left here in the first half, now Coach Paul Williams for the Bumblebees is going to take his second time out. We'll take it with him. Be back for the end of the first half, the conclusion of the first half here on SHN Sports coverage of Jarrell Cougar football. Jarrell Cougar football presented by Georgetown Jewelry, yourpersonalmd.net, Our Bank of Jarrell, Eagle Auto Parts, and Papa John's Pizza. Here in Little River Academy, Texas, where the Bumblebees find themselves 3rd and 10 from the 41 of Jarrell with 1:05 left in the first half. Ryan White's going to drop back, throw it across the middle. He's going to overthrow the receiver, incomplete about the 9-yard line. Number 15, Braden Lilly couldn't run that one down as it hung up in the air a little bit too long. And it brings up now 4th and 10 for the Bumblebees from the 41 of Jarrell. 3 incompletions in a row for the Bumblebees. They are wasting. They're just taking shots to try to get the ball down and score again quickly here before the end of the half. After the kickoff from the Bumblebees was low line driver running along the ground, and one of the Cougars just didn't get out of the way. It hits off of him and goes up high in the air and recovered by the Bumblebees. They are still in possession. 4th and 10 from the 41 of Jarrell. 3 receivers left, 2 right for the Bumblebees. White's going to take the snap. He runs it right up the middle. Hold on to the ball as he's drugged down after about a gain of about 4 yards. And it's a turnover on down, so a great job of defensive pressure by the Cougars here. That stops the Bumblebees, so they'll get the ball back. The Cougars will have it from their own 37-yard line. So a 4-yard gain on the 4th down run there by Ryan White, the quarterback. But all for naught as he can't get to 10 yards. They don't throw it anymore. 53 seconds. The clock stops on the turnover on downs. And so the Cougars have the ball and time to run here if they want to do it. Jasper Compton and Derek Warren in the backfield. Offset on either side of Heron Rodriguez. 2 receivers right, 1 receiver left. On the far side, hash marks. They'll take over. Snap is back. Hand it to Jasper Compton. He cuts back across the 35 up to the 40 and to the 41-yard line. That's where he's brought down after a gain of about 4 yards. Compton got the ball. You don't blame him. After 2 touches and a 56 yards worth of running in the last possession, he scored on the 16-yard touchdown run. Martin Torres now switches to the left side. 2 receivers left, 1 right for the Cougars. 2 running backs in the backfield. Now they're going to hand it to Derek Warren up the middle past the 30. And he's stacked up and driven back. Past the 40 to about the 42-yard line. So he gets a gain of 1 there, and they're going to let the clock run. It's 19 seconds and counting. A 1-yard gain there by Warren. But a timeout called here now. Looks like the last timeout of the half by Paul Williams, the coach of the Bumblebees. So he'll take a chance that the Cougars can't convert and can't. But the thing is, all they do here is got to kneel, and the Bumblebees can't stop the clock. Since it's only 3rd down, the ball is sitting 5 yards short of a first down. So it'll be 3rd and 5 for the Cougars with 16 seconds left in the half. Leading the ball game 13-8. Your Cougars lead it. After a hard-fought battle here in the first half, back and forth, several possessions ending in turnovers on downs, some punts on both sides of the ball mainly 1 punt for the Cougars, several punts for the Bumblebees as they being faced with a stiff defense here by the Cougars tonight, doing a great job. So here come the Cougars out. They'll have 3 receivers to the right side. 1 receiver, Schomburger, the lone set receiver to the left. 2 running backs, Compton and Warren, offset Rodriguez. The ball snapped on a end around. They're going to hand it to Compton. He'll run it up to about the 44-yard line. That's where he's brought down there. And that'll run the clock out for the first half as it clicks off 3 seconds down to the halftime buzzer. And that's where we go. Halftime, your Cougars lead it 13-8 over the Academy Bumblebees here in Little River Academy, Texas, in John Glover Stadium. So we'll take a quick timeout, and then we're going to send it to the studio for Friday Night Football there in the studio live back in the Georgetown Jewelry Studios in Georgetown, Texas. So you're listening to Jarrell Cougar Football here on SHN Sports. Jarrell Cougar Football presented by Georgetown Jewelry, yourpersonalmd.net, Our Bank of Jarrell, Eagle Auto Parts, and Papa John's Pizza. For Friday Night Football there in the studio live back in the Georgetown Jewelry Studios in Georgetown, Texas. So you're listening to Jarrell Cougar Football here on SHN Sports.
And welcome back to the Georgetown Jewelry Broadcast Studio here in Georgetown, Texas on week 9 of SHN Football Friday. We were just tuning in to the end of the second half where Jarrell was at one point leading 13-0 and Academy able to get a nice return and convert the 2-point conversion to narrow the deficit. So at half, Jarrell still on top 13-8, but Academy striking near the end there.
Yeah, I mean, Little River Academy, they've improved a lot since they first began playing football, that is for sure. And they're still well within this game against Jarrell, but it's going to be tough for them to come back still, even with some of the momentum as they go into the halftime. We'll see who will make the adjustments and come out in the second half. I'm thinking Jarrell's going to probably come away with this one, but it's still going to be close at the end.
I agree.
Do you want to get into like this Grand Endeavor?
Yeah, let's go
home
ahead and do
scoreboard
update now that
'Cause
some
I
of these
know-
games are coming out of halftime.
Okay, because I know some of these games are getting ready to head back to the third quarter, and we definitely want to check in on the Maynard Georgetown game just because there's so much on the line with that game tonight. And
Definitely.
I guess I can go ahead and start with that because they're still at halftime. So that game on SHN Sports, along with many others, but the Mustangs and the Eagles are tied at 14-14. Winner has a good chance of making the playoffs. The loser, they're going to need some help to get into the playoffs if they can make the playoffs. So much on the line this evening. Same thing for Austin Bowie as they finally tied it up against Austin High over at Burger Center. It's 7-7 there. Austin Westlake destroying Buda Hayes. So I'm thinking that the Hayes undefeated streak is going to come to an end tonight. It's 37-7 before they hit halftime. All
Wow.
chaparrals.
Wow.
Same thing out in Del Valley. I thought there were going to be a little bit tougher tests for the Cavs. That has not been the case as Lake Travis is dominating before halftime, 41-7. Westwood leads Leander at half, 21-7. We mentioned this game. It started last night. It ended today, but McNeil pulls the upset against Stony Point, 38-28. Cedar Ridge, they're upset-minded tonight as they lead the Round Rock Dragons, who upended Stony Point last week. That score between the Raiders and the Dragons, 38-21, Cedar Ridge. Temple over Waco, 19-6 in the second quarter. At the half, Vista Ridge over Hendrickson, 28-13. In the Battle of the East Side, it's all Austin LBJ over the Novato Vikings, 49-0 as they get ready to head into the half. Steven, I don't know what's going on with the Knights this year, but they're struggling a little bit against Northeast Austin Early College High. It's 10-0 over at House Park tonight.
What else is new for the Knights?
but the Knights are winning. This battle between Dripping Spring and Seguin, both those teams coming off of a win at the half. It's Tigers over the Matadors, 17-6. Hutto is beating Pflugerville at the half, 33-7. Connolly, well, they're ahead of Rouse, but it looks more like a baseball game, 7-2, as they move on to the third quarter play. We were talking about upsets. This one, another one brewing here tonight. And it's Bastrop at home against the Brenham Cubs, who are leading the district. If Brenham loses, that can really shake things up. And this is the same district that Georgetown,
Yep.
Maynard, Hutto, Pflugerville, they're all in the same district, Cedar Creek. So right now, Bastrop has the lead, and it's all because of that safety from the first quarter of play. They lead the Bears 16-14 over the Cubs. It's kind of funny that it's the Bears versus the Cubs tonight. Cedar Creek, like we mentioned before, beating Elgin at the moment at the half, 10-0. They're going to have to hang on for a win tonight to have a chance at the playoffs. Leander Glen, they've had a marvelous season so far. They are leading Marble Falls 21-7 at the half. Classic rivalry matchup here. Burnett taking on Liberty Hill at Liberty Hill. The Panthers haven't had a great season, but a win tonight would definitely help kind of change the tide, so to speak, at least emotionally. But right now, it's the Eagles who lead 21-14 on the road. Canyon Lake and Fredericksburg are tied at 14 at the half. Gonzales is ahead of Lavernia 14-6, also at halftime. This game in the second quarter, as Lampasas is stomping the Taylor Ducks 42-0. At the half, Waco La Vega leads China Springs 21-10. Llano over Bandera 21-14. Belleville leads Caldwell 20-0. Giddings is all over Brookshire Royal 33-0. And Wimberley actually ahead of Geronimo Navarro. That's an interesting take, as Geronimo Navarro has had a great year so far, 14-7. All those games in the second quarter of play. At the half, this matchup between LaGrange and Smithville, that one's a Rock'em Sock'em Robots type of match. It's all 7-7 over there. And Mejia is ahead of Robinson 13-10 as Cameron Yo is beating Rockdale 14-0. We talked about Jarrell in the lead 13-8 as they get ready to come out of the half. Malakoff beating Dallas Medicine right now 21-7 in the second quarter. Maynard New Tech is behind Troy 53-0. It's all Mason over Center Point 35-0. San Saba, they have the shutout going against Valley Mills 26-0. Thrall also pitching the shutout against Rosebud Lot 34-0. Latonia over Snook 20-0. Granger and Bartlett, it's all Granger. They're gonna have a great time in Granger. 57-0 is the score out there, and that will do it for your Grand Endeavor home scoreboard update as we get ready to hopefully get a chance to check in on some of these games that should be getting ready to go back to the third quarter of play.
You mentioned Granger partying up tonight. Of course, assuming they continue
I'm
playing
assuming
the
they're
way
gonna
they
hold.
have. Yeah. But I'm sure Travis Sessoms will be out there with them.
They had a
He'll
tough
get
game.
hyped.
They had a tough game last week.
Yeah.
And it was not close for Granger. So I didn't hear from Travis once, man. That's how bad it was. I was kind of disappointed. Not text, nothing. Didn't want to speak, I assumed.
The comeback, the bounce back this week is real though. So at least so far.
At least they're getting out and doing what they're supposed to do apparently here tonight.
Exactly.
Malakoff is one of those matchups that's interesting. Anytime you have to take on a Dallas school like that's run the Metroplex, they will always have a couple of athletes, and you will have to hope that your team is good enough to beat them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, while we wait for the Eagles of Georgetown to kick back off the second half,
They're
we
still
can go
at the
ahead.
half.
Yeah,
Is it like homecoming at Birkelbach tonight? I'm sorry that I don't know. I hadn't seen anything about it.
Actually, it might be.
That's the only thing I can assume if it's a long halftime.
Right. But we could go ahead and check in on the Eagles of Cedar Creek as they currently lead Elgin 10-3 as they are already underway in the third quarter there. And we'll let you tune in to Cedar Creek football here on SHN Sports.
State Farm Insurance.
I'll analyze that last kick in a minute.
Okay. 1st and 10, Gonzalez with the snap, pitches it out to the right side, got a little running room over the 40, the 45, to the 50, and still on his feet, scrambles for about 6 more, and all the way down to the Eagle territory to the 42-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Number 3 picks up.
There's 2. It was Rangel.
Oh, number 2?
Yeah, it was Rangel on the carry.
Lyndon Rangel with the carry. Where's that blood coming from?
What blood? What?
I got blood.
Oh, you bleeding.
Yep.
You get your knuckle or something?
I probably did. Yeah, I did, right there.
Oh, yeah, sure did.
I'm dying. Cut me, Mick. Cut me. There's a snap. It's a high one. Oh, nowhere to pitch it to. He's in trouble. He's going to go down as Cade Edwards read that mistake really quickly, and he's
Jarrell Cougar football brought to you in part by our Bank of Jarrell. When you do business with our bank, our community bankers will take the time to listen to your financial needs and desires in order to help you create unique solutions that will allow you to achieve these goals. We have solutions for your personal and business needs or a combination of the two. Visit ourbanktexas.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Jarrell Cougar football brought to you in part by Eagle Auto Parts of Jarrell, WVE Vehicle Electronics, offering a portfolio of high-quality aftermarket vehicle electronics including connectors, relays, solenoids, switches, emission, and ignition electronics. Building upon a foundation of premium full-line programs established under the NGK Spark Plug and NTK sensor brands, WVE products are rigorously tested and engineered to perform in import and domestic vehicles. For your vehicle electronic needs, choose WVE of Vehicle Electronics. Precision engineered to perform. Found at your hometown Eagle Auto Parts store in Jarrell, Texas. Jarrell Cougar football brought to you in part by YourPersonalMD.net. YourPersonalMD.net strives to be the real family doctor and desire to use our skills to provide high-quality care in a setting that will provide satisfaction for both ourselves and our patients. Visit YourPersonalMD.net. Go Cougars! Jarrell Cougar football brought to you in part by Georgetown Jewelry, proud supporter of Jarrell Cougar football. For all of your jewelry needs, including weddings, visit Georgetown Jewelry online at georgetownjewelry.com or in the Williamsburg Village Shopping Center in Georgetown, Texas. Jarrell Cougar football presented by Georgetown Jewelry, YourPersonalMD.net, Our Bank of Jarrell, Eagle Auto Parts, and Papa John's Pizza.
He's going to lose 2 yards on a play as it was an intended pitch, and Gonzalez kept it, cut up the middle, right into the wall of Cade Edwards and dropped him for 2.
That's because Ian Flowers got so much penetration on the
First
end.
and 10, Gonzalez
that he had
with the
to turn
snap,
him back
pitches it out to the right side, got a little
Second
runner
down
over the 40, the
and
45,
12
the 50, and still
from
on
the
his
Eagle
feet,
47-yard
scrambles for
line,
about
but
6
On
more.
that punt a minute ago, that's the second punt in a row
And
that
all the way
Ashton
down to the Eagle
probably
territory
could
to
have
the
picked up a first down with
42-yard
his feet.
line. First and 10 for the Wildcats.
Got to be able to
Number
see the field.
3 picks up.
5:35 to go in the third. Eagles still up 10-3. Here's the snap.
And Rangel with
He's looking to
carry.
throw.
He's in trouble. He's going to go down as Alfred Collins turns him into a young little. Oh, he hurt him too. That's a lot of Alfred on top of that small number 7.
Yeah, he did. Alfred's not meaning to be anything other than 6'7" and 270 pounds.
Yeah, and all D1 through and through.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of people throughout this district, throughout this state watching him. He's one of the highest, what's the words? He's recruited, highest recruited, one of the highest recruited in the district.
Welcome back to SHN Sports coverage of Jarrell Cougar football. Got about 10 minutes left here at halftime as the bands performed. Little River Academy band had their junior high band in with them performing tonight, and now they've left the field, and the Bumblebee band will do their contest show for the home crowd. try to do some kind of set the table of where we are here in the ball game. At halftime, Jarrell leads the Bumblebees of Academy 13-8. A lot of punting and turnover on downs happening in the first quarter. Academy opened the game with the ball. They went 6 plays in 3 minutes and 16 seconds and had to punt the ball. They had the ball at about a 4th and 1, and they were going to go for it on 4th down and had to delay a game. And so it pushed them back to 4th and 6, and so the Bumblebees punted. Jarrell took over with 8:34 left in the first quarter at their own 38-yard line. They drive for 6 plays in 1 minute and 53 seconds, only to turn it over on downs, as they could not get a first down there on their first possession at the 44-yard line. 45-yard line, the Bumblebees took over in Jarrell territory. With 6:41 left in the first quarter, Academy takes over. They go for 2 minutes and 52 seconds on 6 plays, but come up turning the ball over on downs after an incompletion on 4th and 5 from Ryan White, the quarterback, and that gave Jarrell the ball. And that was a good turnover on downs for the Cougars. The Bumblebees were pushing. They ended up turning over the ball at the 17-yard line of Jarrell. So the defense held, and the Cougars took back over on their own 17. They went on a 5-play drive with 1 minute and 57 seconds. It took off the clock, but it ended in an interception from Heron Rodriguez. He hung it up here on the left side, on the near side of the field, trying to hit Schomburger. And Schomburger didn't go up for it. He kind of waited for the ball to come to him, and the defensive back, Tegan Jones, went up and took the interception away and took back possession for the Bumblebees. They turn around at their own 34-yard line. They go 4 plays in 1 minute and 41 seconds and punt the ball back to the Cougars. That's where the Cougars took over with 15 seconds left in the first quarter. But it didn't last long, as it only lasted 1 minute and 27 seconds on a 4-play drive, and they were forced to punt on a 5-play drive, or turnover on downs. They went for it on 4th down and did not get it. Came up a couple of yards short. Academy takes over the 10:48 mark in the second quarter, and they go 4 and out. 3 and out. They punted on 4th down, only 1 minute and 15 seconds off the clock. And that's when the Cougar offense clicked in at 9:31 left in the clock in the first half. The Cougars take over at their own 22-yard line. They play some great ball, thanks to a couple of big penalties. But the Cougars take over at their own 22. First play was an incompletion. They end up going on an 11-play drive and ended up getting an 11-yard touchdown pass from Heron Rodriguez to Martin Torres, as he catches it on the left side swing pass and works his way into the end zone on the far side of the field. A couple of crazy plays there. The Cougars had a block in the back on a first play, a pass play that went out to, I believe it was Warren. And the block in the back brought back the play 10 yards, but a unsportsmanlike conduct call on the Bumblebees gave the Cougars 1st and 10 at their 11-yard line. After the unsportsmanlike conduct, it was a dead ball foul. So the Cougars had the penalty that pushed them back, but they got the benefit of the dead ball penalty, and that gave the Cougars the ball 1st and 10 on their own 11-yard line, on the Bumblebee 11-yard line. And it didn't take long there. 1 play, an 11-yard touchdown pass from Heron Rodriguez to Martin Torres to open up the scoring. Jesus Perez kicked the extra point and quickly made it 7-0 for the Cougars. Interesting thing, on the extra point, a flag gets thrown on one of the plays to where the Cougars have to kick off from their own 25-yard line. Perez tees it up at the 25 with the help of Pursley holding the ball due to the heavy winds here out of the north in Academy. Perez kicks the ball at about the 41-yard line. A Bumblebee tried to field it. The ball went high into the air, end over end, and just stopped in this wind. Came down. The Bumblebee player could not field it, and the Cougars pounced on the ball. And the Cougars took right back over on their own 47-yard line with 4 minutes and 23 seconds left in the first half. And that's where Jasper Compton went to work on first down from their own 44-yard line. Jasper Compton takes the ball and runs it across the middle, breaks it to the left side on the far side of the field and gets all the way down to the 16 of Jarrell. A beautiful run by Compton, his first run of the game, and he gets it down to the 16. Turn around on 1st and 10 from the 16 of Academy, and they hand it right back to Compton. First and 10 from the 16, and Compton takes it in 16 yards right up the middle for the touchdown. The 2-point conversion attempt by the Cougars was no good, and that left our score at 13-0. The Cougars led it with 3:49 left in the first half. Academy quickly takes the ball at the Jarrell 47 after a big return by Jalen McWilliams. He caught the ball about the 15-yard line, returned it all the way to the Jarrell 47-yard line, and they wasted no time. They went 6 plays and punched it in on a 7-yard touchdown run by the quarterback, Ryan White. He pulled it out of the belly of Darian Franklin and took the quarterback keeper around the right side into the far corner of the end zone for the touchdown. And then to go for a 2-point conversion on the fake extra point field goal, Ryan, the quarterback, takes the snap. Instead of putting it down for the kick, he takes it around the right side back into the far corner of the end zone for the 2-point conversion and cut the score to 13-8 where we stand now. Academy gets the ball. They go to kick off, and they kick a low screamer that hits a Jarrell Cougar. It bounces high in the air, and the Bumblebees filled it. On the onside kick is what it turns out being. So the Bumblebees took over quickly at the Jarrell 41, and that's where the defense did their work as they kept the Bumblebees out of the end zone and off the scoreboard. 3 straight incomplete passes from Ryan White, the quarterback, to different receivers. He just had the wind with him and hung the ball up and just could not hit his receivers. They had a couple of shots at the end zone and just could not make the pass, and so they ended up going for it on 4th and 10. And White had a quarterback keeper, and he got pressured quick and taken down after a gain of about 4 yards, and that's where they turned over the ball with 53 seconds left in the half. And Jarrell just ran 3 plays and kept the ball out of the hands of the Bumblebees to end the first half, leading 13-8. And so that's where we sit here with 3 minutes left in the halftime. Jarrell Cougars lead at 13-8 over the Little River Academy Bumblebees here from Little River Academy. We're in John Glover Stadium on the road tonight for the district district ball game. The Cougars looking to get a district win and go 1-3 in district and kind of get off the snide, as the Cougars have started out 0-3 in play, and their 3 losses in district play have come to 3 of the top 4 rated teams in the district: Lago Vista, Troy, and Cameron Yo. And so the Cougars will get ready. They will have possession of the ball to start the second half. They deferred their choice to the second half, and so they will be the beneficiaries of that and get possession to start the second half, where they will try to go back to work and put some more points on the board. So we sit here 13-8 at halftime. Our halftime brought to you by the Oak Ridge Disciple House. Great work being done there. And Joshua Harris is just a blessing to us here at SHN Sports. Thank you to Joshua Harris and the fine program there at the Oak Ridge Disciple House. So we'll take a quick break as the band from Little River Academy finishes up their performance here on Senior Parent Night with 1:30 left in the halftime. We'll come back with the second half kickoff of Jarrell Cougar football here on SHN Sports. Jarrell Cougar football presented by Georgetown Jewelry, yourpersonalmd.net, Our Bank of Jarrell, Eagle Auto Parts, and Papa John's Pizza. Jarrell Cougar football brought to you in part by Eagle Auto Parts of Jarrell, WVE Vehicle Electronics, offering a portfolio of high-quality aftermarket vehicle electronics including connectors, relays, solenoids, switches, emission, and ignition electronics. Building upon a foundation of premium full-line programs established under the NGK Spark Plug and NTK sensor brands, WVE products are rigorously tested and engineered to perform in import and domestic vehicles. For your vehicle electronic needs, choose WVE Vehicle Electronics. Precision engineered to perform. Found at your hometown vehicles. For your vehicle electronic needs, choose WVE Vehicle Electronics. Precision engineered to perform. Found at your hometown Eagle Auto Parts store in Jarrell, Texas. Jarrell Cougar football brought to you in part by yourpersonalmd.net. Yourpersonalmd.net strives to be the real family doctor and desire to use our skills to provide high-quality care in a setting that will provide satisfaction for both ourselves and our patients. Visit yourpersonalmd.net. Go Cougars! Welcome back to Jarrell Cougar football here on SHN Sports. I'm Wally Harmon up here in the visitor skybox in Little River Academy, Texas, as we get set for the third quarter in this district battle between the Jarrell Cougars and the Little River Academy Bumblebees. The Jarrell Cougars will take the kickoff here to start the third quarter. We thank Oak Ridge Disciple House again for sponsoring halftime of Jarrell Cougar football. And we start the third quarter brought to you by Your Personal MD. We thank them for their sponsorship of Jarrell Cougar football. And so the Little River Academy Bumblebee team, kickoff team, is on the field. It looks like Blake Bundy will be ready to kick off here. He does, and it's going to be a short kick. And it's an onside kick. It's fielded on the hop at about the 44-yard line by the Cougars. A great job there by Aiden Edgar fielding that ball and falling on it for the Cougars. And that's what they'll take over at the 44-yard line of Jarrell for their first possession here of the second half with a 13-8 lead. So Jarrell with the ball, 12 minutes on the clock from their own 44-yard line. Heron Rodriguez with two running backs in the backfield, offset to both sides. He's going to hand it to Warren. Nope, pulls it out, keeps it up past the 45 to the 46. And then he's thrown down to the ground there by number 55. Make it number 50 is not on the roster that I got from the coach this week. And so I'm not sure who made that tackle for the Bumblebees, but it'll bring up a 2nd and 7 after a 3-yard gain up to the 47-yard line by Heron Rodriguez. He'll take the snap, hands it to Warren. He swings out to the left side, breaks it back from the 48 to the 50, across to the 49 of the Bumblebees. That'll bring up a 3rd and 3 now for the Cougars. As the Bumblebees did a good job of stringing that run out. It came across from the hash mark all the way outside the numbers, and he's hit quickly there, but not before getting across midfield into Academy territory at the 49. 3rd and 3 here. Rodriguez takes a snap, hands it to Compton. He goes right up the middle across the 45 to the 44, where he's hit quickly there and taken down. But after a first down gain by Jasper Compton, who has come in and just running the ball well, gets it down to the 44-yard line of the Bumblebees, and a first down for the Cougars. 2 receivers left, 1 right on the far hash marks now as they take the snap. Rodriguez hands it off now, keeps it. He's going to break it out to the outside to the 45, 40. See where they mark him out. I think he got to the 40. Nope, friendly spot there to the 39-yard line. So a gain of about 5 yards for Aaron Rodriguez. He pulled it out of the stomach of Warren and then followed Warren around the left end here to the near sideline for a nice little gain of 5 yards down to the 39-yard line of the Bumblebees. And that'll bring up 2nd and 5 now for the Cougars. 3 receivers right. Schomburger, lone receiver to the left. Aaron Rodriguez with Warren. Now Warren's going to go out. They're going to swing past to Warren. Out to the 40. He's going to cut it up to the 35, 34. Now he's just in a pile. And they'll finally blow it dead about the 31-yard line. And that's going to be enough for another Jarrell Cougar first down. A nice little swing pass there from Aaron Rodriguez to Warren. All the way down to the 31-yard line of the Bumblebees. Great job by Warren there getting through the crease. Gain of 8 there on the pass play. Rodriguez takes the snap. He's going to hand it to Warren around the left side. He gets outside the hash marks now to the near side numbers, past the 30, down to the 25-yard line. That'll be a gain of 6 yards from the 31 down to the 25. And it'll bring up 2nd and 4 now for the Cougars of the Academy side of the field. So down to the 25-yard line. Nice run there by Warren. Going to have a receiver now, 2 receivers right as Torres joins Persley on the far side. 2 running backs in the backfield, offset both sides of Aaron Rodriguez. Compton's going to get the handoff to the right side. He cuts it up at the 25 to the 20-15 and makes a spin down to the 14. Let's see where they spot him. Looks like they're going to get all the way down to the 13-yard line. So a nice run there of 12 yards by Jasper Compton. He is putting his mark on the game as that young man touches the ball and it turns to gold. He's going to split out now to the wide receiver side on the right side. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Warren offset now. He's going to move to the right side of Aaron Rodriguez in the backfield. Shotgun snap will go to Rodriguez on the far side hash marks. He's going to hand it to Warren up to the 10. He cuts it back to the 5, and he's going to get stacked up there at the 5-yard line, and that's going to bring up a 2nd and about 1 or 2. See where they spot him. They're going to spot him down at the 5-yard line. So a gain of 8 on the run by Warren. So it's going to be a 2nd and 2 now for the Cougars. Now they're going to come down the left side. Aaron Rodriguez is going to keep it up the middle from the 5. Squirts, crawls, keeps crawling, keeps his knees off the ground. Gets to about the 3-yard line. Let's see where they spot him. They'll give him the 3. Well, the far side says the 4-yard line. The near side says the 3-yard line. Nonetheless, it's going to be 1st and goal. We're going to put it at the 3 on the near side. That's where he's standing. So a 2-yard gain there by Rodriguez on the keeper. And now he's going to hand the ball to Warren. Warren's going to cut it up at the 3. 2, 1. Stacked up. He's going to be in. Jarrell Cougar touchdown. Derek Warren battles his way in through the line and all the stacked up Bumblebees. And now, what a run by Derek Warren. The Cougars get the ball to open the second half, and they go to work and just one pass and a lot of runs. And Warren, Rodriguez, and Jasper Compton doing a great job there. And the Cougars push the lead up to 11, 19-8. Jesus Perez on for the extra point attempt. Aiden Edgar on to hold. Snap is up and down. Kick is up and rocking it through the uprights for the extra point. And that makes it 20-8 for the Cougars. So with 8:27 left here in the third quarter, the Cougars push their lead to 12, 20-8 on the Derek Warren 3-yard touchdown run. And so we'll take a quick break. Be back with the kickoff right after this on SHN Sports. Back here on SHN Sports coverage of Jarrell Cougar football, brought to you this third quarter by your personal MD.net. A 10-play drive capped off by a 3-yard touchdown run by Derek Warren. Moves the lead to 12 for your Jarrell Cougars, 20-8. Jesus Perez tees the ball up at the 40-yard line. He'll kick it off, and he's going to give it a nice boot deep into Academy territory, over the head and into the end zone for the touchback. And Perez doing his job again as the dangerous Jalen McWilliams was back for that return. And we saw him go to work earlier when he returned it from the 15 all the way up to the 47 of Jarrell. And so we do not want to give him many opportunities to get a hold of that ball. So with 8:27 left here in the third quarter, the Cougars up by 12, 20-8. The Bumblebees take over for their first possession of the second half from their own 25-yard line. They're going to go with 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Ryan White, the quarterback in the backfield, offset with running back to his right side. Quick pass screened out to McWilliams on the right side. Now he's going to cut it all the way back to the left, across the 15 or 25 to the 30. Nope, to the 25. And then he gets out maybe for a yard. He tried to do some magical work there, and the defense said no go to that. They swatted that bee back into the 26-yard line, maybe a gain of 2. We'll give him the 27, so a gain of 2. A lot of east and west running there by McWilliams on that screen, that little quick wideout pass. McWilliams catches it on the near side numbers and is taken down on the far side numbers. And he went about 30 yards for a gain of 2 up to the 27. 2nd and 8 now for the Bumblebees from their own 27-yard line. 3 receivers right, 1 left now for the Bumblebees. 1 running back in the backfield, offset to the left of Ryan White. He'll take the snap, hand it to the running back. It's going to be Franklin. He's going to dance around and now up the middle, past the 30, maybe to the 31. The ball came out. But after he is ruled down at the 31-yard line, so the ball spotted just past the 31, short of the 32-yard line, so a gain of 4 there. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 4 now for the Bumblebees. They've got to get to the 35-yard line for the first down. They've got 2 receivers left, 2 right. Darian Franklin, the running back, offset to the right of the quarterback, White. He'll take the shotgun snap. He looks to the left, and he's going to fire to the left. Batted down. Great play by Aiden Edgar. He read that. If he had picked it, it would have been a beautiful pick 6 for Edgar, but he knocks it down, and it brings up now 4th and 4 for the Bumblebees, and it looks like the punt team coming on as Ryan White, the quarterback, backs up into the punter's position, shaking his head in dismay as Aiden Edgar did a great job there of batting that ball down. So 31-yard line, 4th and 4 now for the Bumblebees. And so the Cougars back. And let's not do that. Let's take a timeout. So, like in the first half, Coach Paul Williams of the Bumblebees takes a timeout with 6:50 left here in the third quarter. We'll take a quick timeout with them. Be back with the 4th down play for the Bumblebees on SHN Sports coverage of Jarrell Cougar football. Jarrell Cougar football presented by Georgetown Jewelry, your personal MD.net, Our Bank of Jarrell, Eagle Auto Parts, and Papa John's Pizza. The punt kicked there by Ryan White, the quarterback slash punter slash do-it-all player for the Bumblebees. And it does not get touched by the Cougars, and it'll be down at the 45 of Academy. So the Cougars get field position wonderful here with a 12-point lead early in the second half. 6 minutes, 41 seconds left in the half, and the Cougars take over at the Bumblebee 45. Go to work offense again. After a 10-play drive to get a touchdown to start the half, they get a 3-and-out. I'll hold them to a 3-and-out on the Bumblebees and take over after a short punt into that dangerous wind. Here comes Aaron Rodriguez at quarterback. Martin Torres in in motion. He's going to take the jet sweep around the right side. Cuts it up between the hash and the numbers. Now dances back to the middle of the field. He gets past the 40, 35, 30, 25. He's got Schomburger blocking it front down to the 20, 15, 10. Cuts it back to the 5, and he's thrown out of bounds. That's inside the 5, and there comes the flag again. Another unsportsmanlike conduct on the Bumblebees. That's got to sting. That's a nice play there by the Cougars all the way down to the 5-yard line. What a great job there by Martin Torres. He takes the jet sweep, cuts it back, and gets 40 yards on the gain. And then the after-play activity on the Bumblebees is going to come, and not going to be too huge of a penalty there, as it's only going to be half the distance to the goal. So the Cougars will get the ball inside the 3-yard line of Academy after one play, a 40-yard run by Martin Torres. Oops, down to the 5. Apologize. And now to the 3 on the penalty. Rodriguez takes the snap. Hands it to Warren. He's going to be up and stacked at the 1-yard line. Great play there by the Bumblebee defense. Number 50, I'm not sure who he is. He's made a couple of big plays here in the second half. He comes up kind of gingerly there, kind of limping off on a ginger run. Let's see if we can find this in the ad that we bought, the little book. But I don't see a roster and a lineup for the Bumblebees. Let's see here. Maybe we got it right here. Nope, that's Gerald. Number 50, Wyatt Gardner, playing well. So it'll be second and goal for the Cougars from the 1-yard line. Rodriguez, snap is low. He kicks it, and he's going to have to fall on it at the 10-yard line. Make sure they make that Compton. Rodriguez couldn't handle the snap. Compton falls on it at the 10-yard line. So that's going to be a big loss there. From the 1-yard line back to the 10. So it's going to be third and goal. From the 10-yard line. Rodriguez takes the snap, hands it to Compton around the right side. He gets from the 11-10, and he's cut down inside the 10, about the 8-yard line. Nice tackle there on the far side. Looked like number 6 came up there. Can't see who made the tackle. Those numbers kind of bunching up, and the white Jesus Perez will come on. The ball was going to be spotted at the 15-yard line, so it's going to be a 25-yard field goal attempt. For Perez, the ball is up through the uprights, and a field goal is good for your Cougars. And that'll move the score 23-8. Penalty flag is waved off on the offsides on the Bumblebees. And the Cougars will take the points. And that'll move the score 23-8. So your Cougars lead by 15 now. Here in the third quarter. Brought to you by your personal MD. Field goal by Jesus Perez. It'll be a 25-yard kick. It is good. 23-8, your lead here in the third quarter. 4 minutes, 34 seconds left on the clock. Cougars have come out 2 possessions here in the second half and have put up 10 points in the first 8 minutes of the first half. Great job by the Cougar offense after the defense went to work and held the Bumblebees on a quick 3-and-out on their first possession. Perez will line up for the kickoff. Ball teed up at the 40-yard line. Got to imagine he'll kick a boomer back to a touchdown. And here's the kick. It's up. It's going to be short. It's going to be fielded at the 5-yard line by McWilliams. He's going to cut it from the near side hash marks across to the outside, far side hash marks. He dances about the 20, 25, now the 27, stacked up the big pile. Make it the 28, and they'll finally blow him dead. A generous spot at the 29-yard line. I don't know where he was in that pile, but he got the nose of it spotted in his favor. And that's where the Academy Bumblebees will take over with 4:23 left in the third quarter at their own 29-yard line. Nice 24-yard return by Jalen McWilliams, the junior, for the Bumblebees. Two receivers right, two receivers left for the Bumblebees. One running back, Darian Franklin, offset to the left of the quarterback, Ryan White. On the far side, hash mark. Shotgun snap, they'll hand it to Franklin. Quickly dances up to the 30, about the 31, and the pile stops there and moves back. It'll be the 31. Maybe they'll spot him friendly at the 32-yard line. So a gain of 3 yards by Franklin there. Not much running room as the defensive front of the Cougars stood tall. Several Cougars pile up there before I think Compton came running in and hit the pile to make sure it didn't go any further. 2nd down and 7 now for the Bumblebees. They have one receiver to the left, 3 receivers split now to the right. Franklin, the only running back in the backfield on the left side of Ryan White, the quarterback in the shotgun. He'll take the snap, hand it to Franklin again up the middle. He's going to get past the 35, up to about the 40. It drug down at the 39, or the generous spot all the way up to the 40-yard line. So a nice little run of 8 yards there by Franklin, and enough for a Bumblebee first down. The whistle is blown. And it gets the clock started after they set the chains. 1st and 10 for the Bumblebees from the 40-yard line. 3:25 on the clock here in the third quarter remaining. And the clock's running. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right for the Bumblebees. They'll snap from the middle of the field. White takes it. He'll fake the handoff. Now he's going to cross to the left side. He gets to the 40, where he's hit quickly and dropped at the 43-yard line. So it'll be a gain of 3 there for the Bumblebees. It'll bring up 2nd and 7 from their own 43-yard line. 3 runs so far here on the possession for the Bumblebees, keeping the ball on the ground as they go into this tough northern wind that is in their face as they go left to right across the radio dial. 3 receivers now will go to the left for the Bumblebees. 1 receiver, number 80, Jaden Simmons, the lone receiver to the right side. Franklin set to the right side of Ryan White in the shotgun for the Bumblebees. They're on the far side, hash marks. They'll take the snap there. It's an automatic quarterback draw right up the middle. He gets to about the 45, give him the 46 before he's stacked up and driven back. And so it'll be a gain of about 3 yards for the quarterback, Ryan White, on the keeper. He did not hesitate. He took that snap and took 1 step back on a little delay, and that delay did not last very long as he punched it right up the middle for a gain of 3. That brings up 3rd and 4 now. They're at their own 46-yard line. Got to get to midfield for the first down. The Cougar defense prepares to try to make a stop here and force another punt from the Bumblebees. 3 receivers right, 2 left. A lone person in the backfield is Ryan White. 2-step drop right across the middle. The ball thrown to Franklin. He's hit immediately, but he holds on to it. Nice tackle on the play by Brady Gola. He hit Franklin as soon as he caught it, but Franklin holds on. And that brings up a first down now into Jarrell Cougar territory at the 41-yard line. A nice quick pass there. But Gola could not knock the ball free, but a great tackle there as he timed it up. As soon as the ball hit the hands of Franklin, Gola put the lick on and stopped him at the 41. Ryan White takes the ball in the shotgun. Now he's going to roll to the right side. Looks to pass. Gets strung all the way out to the 40. Maybe a gain of 1. Let's see where this spot is. He got run out of bounds. The defense did a great job. You got Nitch. You've got Martin Torres. You got Compton and Jake Copeland strung that one out all the way to the near sideline here. They just did a great job not letting White cut it up. And White only gets a gain of 1 to the Jarrell 40. It brings up 2nd and 9 now for the Bumblebees at the 40-yard line of Jarrell. You'll have 3 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Ryan White all by himself in the backfield in the shotgun for the Bumblebees. White will take the snap at the 45. He fakes, and now he goes right up the middle of the 35, where he's taken down about the 33-yard line. Number 65 for the Cougars, Brenham Wilson, slow getting up. And he'll come off here, being replaced by Gaddison on the defensive line as Wilson takes a breather here. The ball now down to the 33-yard line of Jarrell. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 2 for the Bumblebees. White's going to hand it to Franklin. He gets down to the 30, now cuts a man, and now cuts inside the 30 to the 28, and stacked up about the 27-yard line. That'll be enough for a first down. A nice move there by Franklin to keep the drive alive as he makes a cut, makes one Cougar miss. and gets down to the 27-yard line. Now they're going to spot him back at the 28, so it'll still be a first down. A gain of 5 there by Darian Franklin. But nonetheless, a first down and 10 now from the 28-yard line of Jarrell. One running back in the backfield. It's going to be Franklin. He'll take the handoff. No, Wilson White's going to keep it. He comes to the right side, and he's taken down maybe after a gain of 1. Great pursuit. I tell you what, Derek Warren came up and stopped it, kind of got his momentum stopped, and Jake Copeland came peeling down the line and buried Ryan White at the 27-yard line, a gain of 1. What a great pursuit there by the big man, Jake Copeland, doing a great job of getting down the line and holding Ryan White to 1-yard gain. And that's going to run the clock out for the third quarter. All this run, and the clock's not stopping, and that brings us to the end of the third quarter. The Cougars lead it by 15, 23-8. We'll take a quick timeout, be back with the fourth quarter here on SHN Sports coverage of Jarrell Cougar football.
Jarrell Cougar football brought to you in part by Georgetown Jewelry, proud supporter of Jarrell Cougar football. For all of your jewelry needs, including weddings, visit Georgetown Jewelry online at georgetownjewelry.com or in the Williamsburg Village Shopping Center in Georgetown, Texas.
And back to live action as they take the handoff. The Bumblebees hand it to Franklin, and he gets stacked up about the 25. They're going to generously spot him at the 24. This near side lineman loves to give an extra yard every time. He got stacked up quickly at the 24, and that's going to bring up fourth down now after a gain of 3 there by Franklin. It'll bring up a fourth down. They've got to get down to about the 18, 17-yard line of Jarrell for the first down. Ryan White all by himself in the backfield. Snap is low. He picks it up. He's going to be hit as soon as he throws it. The pass is incomplete. There is no way that was caught. Oh, my goodness. They're going to call it complete. That ball skipped into his arms as Ryan White was smashed as soon as he tried to throw it. And they're going to get a friendly call there down to the 15, making the 16-yard line of Jarrell. Wow, unbelievable there. What a great hit against the quarterback, Ryan White. And that catch given to the Bumblebees. Now they got 2 receivers left, 2 right. They'll hand it off to Franklin up the middle of the 15. He drives down to the 10 where he's finally caught and drugged back. That'll be a gain of 5 there. Make it 6 up to the 10-yard line for Franklin. Not sure how that one worked out there on that completion. Wow, what a break for the Bumblebees. It keeps the drive alive. That would have brought up a fourth down. And you got to think right now, it's in 4-down territory as we're inside the 10-minute, 30-second mark of the ballgame. They're trailing by 15. 2 receivers left, 2 right now on the far hash mark as Ryan White takes a shotgun snap. He's going to hesitate, now take it up the middle. Gets past the 10 and quickly taken down there. What a tackle. I believe it's Roman Rodriguez. Raymond Rodriguez, what a tackle there. He came up and cut Ryan White down for a 1-yard gain to the 9-yard line. That's going to bring up now third down. They've got to get to the 6-yard line for a first. They're at the 9, so it's 3rd and 3 for the Bumblebees. 2 receivers left, make it 3 receivers left now. 1 receiver right. Franklin offset to the right side of Ryan White in the shotgun for the Bumblebees. White will take the shotgun snap. He pulls it out. He's now chased down Brayman. He's going to be run out of bounds all the way back to the 13-yard line. Aiden Edgar, big-time stop for the Cougars. Number 65, Brenham Wilson back in there. He strung it out for White, chasing him, and Aiden Edgar came up and knocked him out of bounds for a big loss all the way back to the 13-yard line, a loss of 4. And that's going to bring up a big 4th down here for the Bumblebees, big enough to draw the second timeout by Coach Paul Williams of the Academy of Bumblebees. Quick timeout with them as we bring you the Georgetown Jewelry 4th quarter here of Jarrell Cougar football on SHN Sports.
Jarrell Cougar football presented by Georgetown Jewelry, yourpersonalmd.net, Our Bank of Jarrell, Eagle Auto Parts, and Papa John's Pizza.
Back here for Jarrell Cougar football. A big 4th down now for the Bumblebees of Academy. Ryan White, the quarterback's going to swing it outside and take it. Jones, he's wide open. 10-5. Touchdown Bumblebees. That play was wide open. Wide open now. What a play there. Great play called there by Coach Paul Williams as they look to run it to the right side. It's going to be a personal foul. Roughing the passer called on Jake Copeland. Touchdown is going to be good as they wave the penalty off. And so now it'll be the Bumblebees going for an extra point here. See what they do. They're down 9 now, 23-14 with 9:21 left here in the ball game. Number 10 to number 35. And now they'll line up in some weird formation. The snap is high over Ryan White's head. He falls on it. If they could have picked it up, the Cougars had 2 points the other way. There was no stopping him, but he got tripped up as Aaron Rodriguez recovers the ball, but he fell on it about the 18. So the extra point and the 2-point conversion, no good. And that leaves the Cougars leading by 9, 23-14 here in the 4th quarter. The crazy snap came back to haunt the Bumblebees there as that snap gets over the head of Ryan White, the quarterback. They were going to try to go for 2 and cut it to a 7-point ball game, and that cost them there. Now it's a 2-possession ball game. No matter what, you got a 9-point lead with 9:21 left here in the 4th quarter. Jarrell leads at 23-14. And so the Cougars are going to try to run some clock, just like they did in the opening drive of the half, a 10-play drive. There was 1 pass and 9 rushes for the Cougars. You got to see that again as they ran a lot of clock there. About 3.5 minutes. You got to watch the onside kick here as Blake Bundy, the kicker, the sophomore kicker, number 4 for the Bumblebees, tees it up. He's kicked a couple of balls that have been very touch and go. So the Cougar defense, the kick return team, has to be prepared. They've got 8 men up close, make it 9 as Schomburger and Derek Warren are deep for the Cougars. Bundy's going to kick it. He barely tips it. It's fielded short of the 10-yard mark. Great play by the Cougars. Who fell on that one? It's going to be number 10, Mr. Persley. What a great job. I tell you what, Bundy's kick was phenomenal. He punched it as the team ran. That ball kind of ran with Bundy. And that ball gets to the 50-yard line. That's going to be a dangerous play. Persley made a great play to step up inside the 50, that 10-yard mark, and he falls on it at the 49 of Academy. And that's where Jarrell's going to take over. Actually, they're going to get 5 yards additional. The kickoff team was offsides for the Bumblebees, so that'll be added to the end of the run or the fall-on fielding by Persley. So the Cougars will take over with 9:21, which how they don't run the clock anymore, I'm not sure. At the 44 of Academy. Hand off to Jasper Compton. He's going to get across the right side to the 45, 44, 43-yard line. He'll be blown down about the 42-yard line. So a gain of 2 there on the run by Compton. And the important thing is the clock runs. We just break the 9-minute mark. Aaron Rodriguez, shotgun snap. He's going to hand it to Derek Warren to the left side of the middle of the field. He gets past the 40, 35, and he'll be taken down there about the 34. Oh, he breaks the tackle. And they'll spot him about the 34, 33. Let's see where they spot him on the far side of the field. They're going to spot him at the 34-yard line. That'll be enough for a Jarrell Cougar first down. A nice 8-yard run there by Derek Warren. As number 20 for the Bumblebees, Corbin Bush comes up limping. And they get him off the field, and the Cougars will take over. 8 minutes and 46 seconds on the clock. The clock should be going now. There he goes. They wind the clock, 8:45 and counting now. As they got 3 receivers right, 1 left for the Cougars. Rodriguez in the shotgun snap. He fumbles the snap back to the 43, now back to the 45. He's going to have to shake a player, and he does. About the 40, he's going to throw it up. It's batted down. Can't say it wasn't a good play, but it was a risky play as the defender knocks it away from Pursley, but it's not a loss. That would have been about a 7 or 8 yard loss there. So Aaron Rodriguez gets rid of it. It brings up 2nd and 10 from the 34 of Academy after the incompletion there. But more importantly, the clock stops. 8 minutes, 29 seconds left in the ball game. Your Jarrell Cougars lead it 23-14. They got a 2-possession lead and the ball right now, and they've got to run this clock and try to score again to close it out. Shotgun snap. It's going to be Martin Torres in a jet sweep to the right side. He cuts back at the 35 up to about the 30. He's finally going to be drugged down at the 30-yard line, and that'll be a tough 4-yard gain there on Torres on the jet sweep up to the 30-yard line of Academy. And that's going to bring up now a 3rd and 6. They've got to get up to the 25-yard line. Make it the 24-yard line of Academy for the first down. So it'll be 3rd and 6 now for the Cougars. 8 minutes on the clock and counting down here in the ball game. 2 receivers left, 1 right for the Cougars. 2 running backs in the backfield. Compton and Warren offset on either side of Aaron Rodriguez. Shotgun snap will come inside the 5 seconds of the play clock. Rodriguez pulls it. He's going to run, and he runs out of bounds. And a late hit out of bounds by Tegan Jones is going to cost the Bumblebees. The Cougars were going to be stopped and be forced to make a decision on a 4th and long. But a late hit out of bounds by Tegan Jones. There is a lot of attitude from the Bumblebee team tonight that is just surprising. Many penalties and just unreal. That one was just unnecessary. Rodriguez clearly out of bounds and settled out of bounds to kill the clock, get a 4th down, and they get a first down on a late hit out of bounds by Tegan Jones, and that's huge. That's going to be a backbreaker for the Bumblebees as the Cougars now will get a first down up to the 16-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 16-yard line, a first down on the penalty. And Rodriguez now takes the snap. He's going to hand it to Warren. Warren takes out across the left, breaks a tackle, gets up to the 15, 14, maybe dives close to the 13, but he smartly gets down before the out-of-bounds marker. They're going to spot him, it looks like, at the 14-yard line. So a gain of 2 on the run, but more importantly, the clock keeps running as Derek Warren got down in bounds to keep that clock running. It's now at 7 minutes and 10 seconds on the game clock and running. It'll bring up 2nd and 8 for the Cougars from the 14-yard line of the Bumblebees. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Rodriguez takes a snap. Quick pass out to the left to Raymond Rodriguez. He'll bury his head and rush up and crush a couple of defenders for the Bees. He gets inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. What a punishing run after the catch for Raymond Rodriguez. Be a gain of 5. And it's going to be 3rd and 3 now from the 9-yard line. Got to get to the 6 for the first down. Letting the clock run. The clock, they called Rodriguez out of bounds. So 6 minutes, 51 seconds on the clock. Cougars come set, 2 receivers right. They'll take the snap from the far hash. They're going to hand the ball to Warren up the middle, inside the 6. Oh, let's see. They stack him up, drive him back. Looks like he's going to get a generous spot to the 6. Should be a first down. We'll look up at the. So he's spotted just short of the first down, in between the 6 and the 7-yard line. I guess we'll give it the 7 because it's going to be short of the first down. And so now Jesus Perez is going to set up for a field goal. The ball will be spotted about the 14-yard line. Aiden Edgar will be the holder. And now a timeout is going to be called by Coach Amos Davidson with 6 minutes, 11 seconds left in the ball game. The Cougars lead by 9, 23-14. We'll take a quick timeout with them here in the Georgetown Jewelry fourth quarter of Jarrell Cougar football on SHN Sports.
Jarrell Cougar football presented by Georgetown Jewelry, yourpersonalmd.net, Our Bank of Jarrell, Eagle Auto Parts, and Papa John's Pizza.
Back here on SHN Sports coverage of Jarrell Cougar football. We're in the fourth quarter. 6 minutes, 11 seconds left in the ball game. Your Jarrell Cougars lead at 23-14 with the ball about the 7-yard line. They need 2 for a first down. It's 4th and 2. They're going to take the snap, hand it to Jasper Compton. He cuts back at the 5. Touchdown, Jarrell Cougars! Jasper Compton, the player of the game. That young man has touched the ball every time it turns to gold. He has made some big key rushes, and he does there on 4th and 2 from the 7 and punches it in to put the nail in the proverbial coffin of the Bumblebees. 29-14, a 15-point lead for your Cougars as Perez sets up for the extra point attempt. Aiden Edgar, the snap back and down. The kick is up and through the uprights and good. That makes the score 16-point lead now, 30-14. Your Cougars lead it. What a job by Jasper Compton, just doing work here in the ball game for the Cougars. This second half has been owned by that young man, and that is going to make it tough now for the Bumblebees, as they're going to get the kickoff with about 6 minutes left on the clock. Still a 2-possession game. It's at 16 points, but now it's 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points, 2 two-point conversions to even tie the ball game. So a tough task ahead of the Bumblebees after the offense for the Cougars responds to the score by the Bumblebees. Great job there. Coach Davidson takes the timeout, goes with the decision to change from the field goal attempt, and it pays off on the Jasper Compton 7-yard touchdown run. What a great play call by the coaches there. The band from Jarrell getting a little raucous here on a Friday night with their team up 30-14 with 6 minutes and 5 seconds left in the ball game. And they should absolutely. This Cougar team has come out and has been playing ball all night long, doing a great job here on the road. Jesus Perez tees it up at the 40-yard line. He's kicking into the wind here, so a good thing here for the Bumblebees. They're going to get good field position. Perez gets the ball off. Nice kick into the wind. It's going to kill it about the 15-yard line, fielded by McWilliams. He's going to cut back here to the near side. He's bottled up. Now he's going to cut back to the right side, and he's hit about the 23. Now he breaks a tackle, gets up to the 25. Drug down now from behind at the 27, 28-yard line. Good play there. I believe Martin Torres finally caught him, maybe Raymond Rodriguez. Great pursuit by the kick return team. They're going to get him down at the 29-yard line, and that's where the Bumblebees will take over with 5 minutes, 55 seconds left in the ballgame, trailing by 16 to your Cougars. They're going to have to take it quite the distance to get this score. Try to get a quick score. Field goals do no good, so it's all 4-down territory for the Bumblebees. And they're going to go to 3 receivers on the right side, 1 left. Franklin, the lone running back in the backfield. Ryan White, quick pass to the outside of McWilliams. Hit about the 33-yard line, taken down there. Inbounds, great tackle there by the Cougar defense. They'll spot him about the 34-yard line. maybe the 35-yard line. They'll give him 6 yards there to the 35 to McWilliams. So a gain of 6 brings up 2nd and 4. The Bumblebees taking their time here. 5 minutes, 30 seconds left on the clock. Still trailing 16. 30-14, the Cougars lead it. 2 receivers left, 2 right for the Bumblebees. They'll snap from the far side hash marks. Ryan White takes the shotgun snap. He'll hand it to Franklin. He runs up to the line of scrimmage. Hit there by Jake Copeland and drugged down after a gain of about 1 to the 36-yard line. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 3 for the Bumblebees. Not sure. What a generous spot. The 37. He got hauled down quickly there by Copeland. So it'll be a 3rd and 2 now for the Bumblebees from their own 37-yard line. 3 receivers left, 2 right now for the Bumblebees. Empty backfield for Ryan White. He's going to take the snap. Quick pass to the right side. Batted down on a play by Jasper Compton. He almost had a pick and a 6 to go with it, but he bats it down as Tegan Jones not really ready for that pass. And he did a great job there. Jasper Compton with a big play. Brings up a big 4th down and 2 now for the Bumblebees. And so here it all rests with 4 minutes and 44 seconds left in the ballgame, trailing by 16. You got Franklin offset to the right side of Ryan White in the backfield. 1 receiver right, 3 left. He takes the shotgun snap. He whips it out to the outside. Picked up by Martin Torres at the 43 to the 40, 35, 30. Cuts back to the middle field, 25. Taken down at the 22. Martin Torres with the defensive pick for the Cougars, and that's going to end the ballgame. The Cougars can run it out here. What a great job by Torres. Ryan White kind of hung it up, and Torres reacted, picked it up, and ran it back for about a 20-yard gain from the 43. They'll spot him at the 21, maybe the 20. Let's see once the pile clears out where they spot him. Looks like the 21, so a 22-yard return on the pickoff by Torres. And the Cougars have the ball with 4 minutes and 33 seconds left and the 16-point lead. The Cougars come out on offense now after the INT. Martin Torres, what a great job. Rodriguez with 2 running backs in the backfield. Warren and Compton. He's going to hand it to Warren. He'll go up the middle of the field, past the 20, 15, and almost down to the 10. They'll spot him about the 12 or 13-yard line. Nice quick run right up the middle by Warren after the quick little counter cutback. They'll get him down to the 13-yard line. So a gain of 8 there for Compton, or for Warren, apologize. So it'll be 2nd and 2 from the 13 of the Bumblebees. Rodriguez, Warren, and Compton all turn and look to get the call. 15 seconds left on the play clock. 3:59 now on the game clock. Rodriguez in the shotgun with 2 running backs on either side. 2 receivers left, 1 right from the middle of the field. They'll take the snap. He's going to hand it to Compton. He's going to follow Warren. Now he's going to cut back up the middle past the 10. And up to about the 5. The pile drives, and now they'll push him back. They're going to spot him about the 6-yard line. But that's enough for another Jarrell Cougar 1st down. And it's going to be 1st and goal now from the 6 as Compton has a nice little 7-yard run there for a Cougar 1st down. The clock still ticking away now as the change gets set. 1st and goal from the 6. 3 minutes, 30 seconds left in the ballgame. Cougars have 15 seconds on the play clock as they get the play. Rodriguez turns and sets and readies the offense. 1 receiver left, Schomburger. 2 receivers right, Persley and Martin Torres for the Cougars. They're going to snap it from the far side of hash marks. Rodriguez is going to take the snap, stick in the belly of Warren up to about the 5-yard line where he's hit quickly there. They're going to spot him about the 5, about a gain of 1 right outside the 5-yard line. We'll give him a gain of 1 there. And that'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 5, just outside the 5-yard line for the Cougars. 2:55 on the game clock as it ticks down. 20 seconds on the play clock. It'll be 2 receivers right for the Cougars, it looks like in this setup. Make it 3 receivers right as Compton comes out of the backfield and goes to the right side for trips right. Schomburger, the lone right receiver, to the left. Ball will be snapped from the middle of the field at the 5-yard line. Warren's going to take the handoff around the right side. Cuts it up the middle. Jarrell Cougar touchdown. Derek Warren on the 6-yard, 5-yard plunge. And he goes untouched. What a play there as they all sided with the trips right. Changing it up, and Warren cuts back right up the middle untouched for the Jarrell Cougar touchdown. What a run there and a great play call by the coaches, and that brings up a 5-yard TD run for Derek Warren. Jesus Perez on for the extra point attempt. 2 minutes, 33 seconds left. The snap is back. It's down. The kick is up and good for Jesus Perez. And that puts the score 37-14, a 23-point lead for your Jarrell Cougars with 2 minutes and 33 seconds left on the clock. And the Cougar offense just clicking on all cylinders here in the second half. By the time they've touched it, it's turned to gold. The first possession of the second half was a 10-play drive capped off by the 3-yard touchdown run by Derek Warren and the extra point by Jesus Perez. The next possession, they got it. They went about 4 or 5 plays. That big run by Compton from the 45, or by Martin Torres down to the 5-yard line. And that capped off a field goal there as they stalled out about the 8-yard line. They got the field goal by Jesus Perez for 10 points in the second half. And then the next time they touched the ball, they scored again on a 7-yard touchdown run by Jasper Compton. And then you thought, hey, the nail's in the coffin. And then the pickoff by Martin Torres and another touchdown by the Cougar offense. Short field from the 21 of the Bumblebees. And they wasted not enough time. 2-minute possession there from the 21. Couldn't stall much more when you're not getting tackled. They just keep on running as Derek Warren punches it in. 37-14. The Cougars lead it. Jesus Perez will tee it up. The stands here on the visitor side just shaking as the band having a blast tonight as their team is putting on a show here in Little River Academy. The kick is up, and it's going to blow dead. Be fielded, fair caught about the 31-yard line by number 15, Braden Lilly. And Academy will take over there with 2 minutes, 33 seconds left in the ball game. They're trailing by 23. And one of my favorite songs goes, I think you can turn out the lights. The party's over. It's going to be fielded at 33. That's a generous spot on the fair catch he made at the 31. So it'll be a 33-yard line for Academy with 2:33 left in the ball game. 2 receivers will come left for the Academy Bumblebees. 2 receivers right. Franklin set to the left of Ryan White in the shotgun. From the far side, hash marks. Shotgun snap. Now Ryan White's going to go deep. A nice little pump fake. Hits McWilliams in stride at the 33. And he's going to beat the defensive back all the way in for the touchdown. McWilliams takes it 67 yards for the touchdown. He beat C.J. Allen. The nice little pump fake from Ryan White. McWilliams stopped and then took off on the old stop and go, and he got hit in stride at the 33 and took it the rest of the way for a quick one-play strike touchdown for the Bumblebees. It only took 11 seconds off the clock, and that cuts the score to 37-20. And it looks like they're going to try an extra point here. An extra point kick instead of the 2-point conversions. We'll see what happens here. Number 4, Blake Bundy back to kick it. The snap is back and down. And the kick is up and good for Bundy. So that's going to cut it to 16 points again now, 37-21. The Bumblebees score quickly. On the one-play TD strike. 67-yard touchdown pass and catch and run. From number 10 to number 3, that McWilliams is a dangerous young man. That kid is a junior. Jalen McWilliams has been impressive with his speed all night. And so the Jarrell Cougars will get the kickoff. They will have to fill the kickoff. The hands team will be out there as 2 minutes and 21 seconds remain on the clock. The Bumblebees, in all their green and gold glory, will give it another go here on an onside kick attempt by Blake Bundy, the kicker. He's made 3 or 4 great kicks tonight. It looks like they're going to put one person deep. It's going to be the quarterback, Heron Rodriguez. He'll drop back. He's at the 20 and backpedaling a little more. The other 10 players are between the 50 and 40-yard line for the Jarrell Cougars. They've got 5 on the front line and 5 on the 40-yard line, 42-yard line. As you've got your hands team out there, C.J. Allen, Raymond Rodriguez, Derek Warren, and here comes the kick. It's going to bounce about the 50. It goes up high, and let's see who gets it. And the Bumblebees get it. The Cougars did not go get the ball. They let it roll and bounce. It took the big hop, and the Bumblebees go up and get it at the 48 of Jarrell. And so here we go. 2 minutes, 21 seconds left in the ball game. 21-37. The Cougars lead by 16. But here come the Bumblebees after the onside kick by Blake Bundy at the 48-yard line of Jarrell. 1st and 10. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Franklin offset to the right side of White in the shotgun from the far hash. White drops back. He's going to go deep again. He's going to throw it here to the outside. Caught by number 15, Braden Lilly. He's going to hook and ladder to Williams at the 30, and McWilliams is going to run it in for a touchdown. 1 play, 48 yards on the old hook and ladder by the Bumblebees, and it's good for a touchdown. Holy cow. Braden Lilly gets it. He gets hit and almost brought down. He turns around, and here came McWilliams streaking behind him. He takes the pitch about the 30-yard line and runs it in for the touchdown. That brings it down to a 10-point lead for the Cougars, 37-27 with the extra point pending. 2 minutes, 8 seconds now on the clock for the Cougars. Blake Bundy, the kicker, back set up for the extra point attempt. The snap is backing down. The kick is up and through the uprights. And good, and that drops it now to a 9-point lead. Now I'm not sure why Coach Williams did not go for the 2-point conversion, because we're still leading by 9. The Cougars lead at 37-28 over the Bumblebees. So you still got to have 2 possessions now if you're the Bumblebees, but the way they're going, they're wasting no time. 2 minutes and 21 seconds, they got the onside kick from the 48. And in 1 play on the old hook and ladder, that went from 10 to 15 to number 3, and the kick was good. So with 2 minutes and 8 seconds, the Bumblebees tee the ball back up. Blake Bundy. So here we go. Bundy's teeing it up from the visitor, or near side of the mid-stripe mark of the 40-yard line. Looking straight over at the far sideline for the onside kick. He's going to kick it again. It takes a bounce, and it's fielded loose, and the Bumblebees got it. It went off of a Cougar player back onto the 49-yard line of the Bumblebees, where they field the ball and take over again. How no time came off the clock there. The magical clock keeper on the home side of the field not running the clock correctly tonight. No time came off the clock there. So 2 minutes, 8 seconds left in the ball game. And now the Bumblebees have the ball down by 9 on their own 49-yard line. 2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Brian White, the lone quarterback in the backfield, takes a shotgun snap. He's going to look. He's going to go. Now he's going to run up to the 45, breaks a tackle to the 40, 35, down to the 31-yard line of Jarrell. They get the 32-yard line is where he's marked down. The pressure got to him. He had to scramble, but a big run there. 1 minute, 59 seconds. Now the clock runs again. Inside 2 minutes, down to 150. 3 receivers left, 2 receivers right for the Bumblebees. From the 32 of Jarrell, Ryan White in the shotgun. He's going to take the snap, drops back 2 yards. Now he's going to heave it down the right side of McWilliams, but overthrows him to the back far corner of the end zone, and it'll be incomplete. Just needed to hang a little more air under it. McWilliams streaking down the far sideline, and man, that young man just flies. You got to drop your safeties there, as McWilliams is just hard to stay up with. That young man is quick. The incomplete pass brings up second now and 10 from the Jarrell 32-yard line. 1 minute, 42 seconds left in the ball game. Jarrell leads 37-28. 2 receivers right, 3 receivers left for the Bumblebees. Ryan White gets the shotgun snap. He's pressured up the middle. Now he scrambles 35, throws it on the run, and it's caught at about the 5-yard line. McWilliams lays out, makes a diving catch. It's going to be first and goal from the 5-yard line, a 27-yard gain. The clock is running. 1 minute, 27 seconds. Two receivers left, two receivers right. Franklin offset to the right side of White. He takes a snap. He's going to run it up the middle. Now he backtracks. He's going to go to the right side. He's wide open, being chased down. And Ryan White scores to the far side corner. He gets around a couple of Cougar defenders as the receiver cracked back to be ready to block. And Ryan White punches it in for the 5-yard touchdown run. And that's going to bring it to a 3-point ball game. They're going to try the extra point again. No good to do two now as you're down 37-34. The Cougars are going to have to field an onside kick to end this ball game. Blake Bundy, the snap back and down. The kick is up, and it's good. And that makes it 37-35. The Cougars only lead by 2 now, as 3 straight possessions and 21 straight points has closed this ball game to 2 points with 1:16 left in the ball game. What a turn of events here. The Cougars' heads are down. The defensive kick return team has got to get this onside kick. This is inevitable. They've got to field the ball here. Blake Bundy obviously will be kicking the ball on an onside kick again. You assume he's going to go right back to the far side of the field and aiming for that far sideline, about the 50-yard line. He's aiming, turning that way as he puts the tee down. The ball gets brought to him. He's just about 2 yards to the near side of the midfield mark at the 40-yard line. He tees it up directly over there. You've got 10 players in between the 43 and the 50 of Jarrell. And now Coach Amos Davidson is going to take a timeout. Minute 16 left here in the ball game. 37-35. The Cougars lead by 2. Just 2 minutes and 33 seconds ago when the Bumblebees took over after the Jarrell touchdown by Derek Warren. 3 possessions on 2 onside kicks recovered by the Bumblebees has cut this ball game to 2, 37-35. Thankfully, the Cougar offense has been phenomenal this second half to get the big lead, and now the kick return hands team has got to do their job here as they have struggled the last 2 onside kicks. Blake Bundy sets up, the sophomore kicker for the Bumblebees, sets up, getting ready to tee the ball up. 1 man back at the 32-yard line for the Cougars. 5 men along the 50-yard line and 5 men along the 45, 43-yard line for the Cougars. Bundy kicks the ball. The ball bounces. It's fielded at the 48 of Jarrell, and it's Bumblebees. And that's the man of the night, Jasper Compton. He fields the onside kick, and that's going to do it, boys. What a good job there by Compton. He comes up in front of the 50-yard line and fields it on the bounce before it takes the big bounce over the line. But I tell you what, Blake Bundy, quite the exquisite kicker, as he has just kicked some beautiful onside kicks where the bounces have been phenomenal. Now an offsides on the kicking team. And so we're going to get 5 yards on top of that as the ball was spotted at the 46 where Compton landed. And now the Cougars are going to take over with 1:16 at the 41-yard line of Academy. The fans are fired up here, wanting this team. People keep yelling, score a touchdown. At this point, the Cougars are just going to kneel the ball down. They only have 1 timeout left through the Bumblebees. And so the Cougars can run out the clock here. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 41 of Academy. The Cougars have looks like Derek Warren deep. Rodriguez is going to take the shotgun snap, kneel down at the 46-yard line. Coach Williams is going to blow it dead. 1:13 on the clock. It's a loss of 5. On the kneel down, So it'll be 2nd and 15 from the 46-yard line. Take a quick break, get a quick drink, and come back for the last minute, 13 seconds here of Jarrell Cougar football.
Jarrell Cougar football presented by Georgetown Jewelry, yourpersonalmd.net, Our Bank of Jarrell, Eagle Auto Parts, and Papa John's Pizza.
Welcome back to SHN Sports coverage of Jarrell Cougar football. 1 minute, 13 seconds left here in the ball game as this has gone crazy. 37-35, the Cougars lead by 2. It's 2nd and 15. Rodriguez takes a shotgun, snap, kneels down at the 49-yard line, make it the midfield stripe. It's going to bring up 3rd down back at midfield, so it'll bring up 3rd and 19. As the play clock got set to 40 immediately. The Bumblebees out of timeout, so now the costly timeouts earlier in the half by Coach Paul Williams come back to haunt him as the Cougars let the clock run. We're at 40 seconds on the game clock, 11 seconds on the play clock. They're going to let it get down, and he'll take the snap, kneel down at the 45-yard line, and that's going to be it as the play clock resets. And there's 25 seconds on the game clock, and it's not going to have to snap it again as the Cougars are going to hold on. For a 2-point victory, 37-35. The Cougars hold on. A quick timeout as the team shake hand at midfield, come back, wrap it up, and head home for the night as the Cougars prepare for their next game against a tough Rockdale opponent next week back in Jarrell. That's the ball game. 37-35. The Cougars win it for their first win in district play. And we'll be back just after this on SHN Sports.
Jarrell Cougar football presented by Georgetown Jewelry, yourpersonalmd.net, Our Bank of Jarrell, Eagle Auto Parts, and Papa John's Pizza.
SHN Sports coverage of Jarrell Cougar football here from Little River Academy in the on the campus of the Academy Bumblebees here in John Glover Stadium. What a crazy end to the ball game with 2 minutes and 33 seconds left in the ball game. The Cougars scored to make the 37-14. They led by 23 points. And in 2 minutes, in a minute and 17 seconds, the Academy Bumblebees put up 166 yards of offense, scored 21 points, 3 touchdowns, 3 extra points. And thankfully to Jasper Compton for recovering the third onside kick in a row for the Cougars to finally recover the third onside kick attempted. The Cougars were able to put the ball game away by kneeling it out here on the road. What a great performance by the Cougars. I tell you what, the Bumblebees played a great fourth quarter. The last 3 minutes of the game, phenomenal plays. Ryan White with a great pass on the stop and go to McWilliams for 67 yards, and then turned around on the hook and ladder from Lilly to McWilliams from the 30. He pitches at the 30, scores that touchdown. They come back in 6 plays. They scored 21 points on 166 yards to come back and make this a 2-point ball game. Yeah, a couple of questions. You wonder if Coach Paul Williams saves a timeout or two earlier in the half. It's different there at the end. The Cougars have to get a first down, or if they thought you go for a couple of 2-point conversions, and they don't. They kick all field goals there, the extra points to get the 21 points. But, you wonder, did they take a chance? And they didn't tonight, and it benefits the Cougars as they hold on for the 37-35 win. So Jarrell will improve to 4-4 on the season, back to 500, and 1-3 in district play. The Academy Bumblebees will fall to 2-7 on the season, and 1-4 in district play. Next week, the Academy Bumblebees will have the week off, and they'll finish at Rockdale on November the 8th. Next week for the Cougars, we'll be back home at Jarrell at the Cougars Stadium against a tough Rockdale Tigers team at 7:30 p.m. We'll be on the air here at SHN Sports at about 7:15, 7:20 to bring you live Jarrell Cougar football next Friday night. So from the booth up here in Academy, Little River Academy, Texas. Thank you for listening in. Jarrell Cougars are successful 37-35 on the road over the Bumblebees. We'll see you next week here on SHN Sports.
Jarrell Cougar football brought to you in part by Georgetown Jewelry, proud supporter of Jarrell Cougar football. For all of your jewelry needs, including weddings, visit Georgetown Jewelry online at georgetownjewelry.com or in the Williamsburg Village Shopping Center in Georgetown, Texas. Jarrell Cougar football brought to you in part by YourPersonalMD.net. YourPersonalMD.net strives to be the real family doctor and desire to use our skills to provide high-quality care in a setting that will provide satisfaction for both ourselves and our patients. Visit YourPersonalMD.net. Go Cougars! Jarrell Cougar football brought to you in part by Our Bank of Jarrell. When you do business with our bank, our community bankers will take the time to listen to your financial needs and desires in order to help you create unique solutions that will allow you to achieve these goals. We have solutions for your personal and business needs or a combination of the two. Visit ourbanktexas.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Jarrell Cougar football brought to you in part by Eagle Auto Parts of Jarrell, WVE Vehicle Electronics, offering a portfolio of high-quality aftermarket vehicle electronics including connectors, relays, solenoids, switches, emission, and ignition electronics. building upon a foundation of premium full-line programs established under the NGK Spark Plug and NTK sensor brands. WVE products are rigorously tested and engineered to perform in import and domestic vehicles. For your vehicle electronic needs, choose WVE of Vehicle Electronics. Precision engineered to perform. Found at your hometown Eagle Auto Parts store in Jarrell, Texas.